Oh, yeah.
On today's episode of Let's Talk FGO, we are here to talk to you about, oh my god, surprise Christmas, no rerun in JP. And then, not very surprising, Christmas Lotto. There will be a pregame later because Albert is trying to kill me. Somebody clip that. Hello, I am one of your hosts. I am audio engineer Omega. With me, as always, the Christmas chef, Lucky.
Yeah. Everyone, I hope you're enjoying Fate Grand Order, a.k.a. good old Christmas cheer. And while we here at Studio Omega like to bring you the latest FGO-related news and memes, we will be talking about current and future events for both the JP and EA version of the game. So anyone not wanting spoilers should dive.
Yeah, I wanted to try and do a damn the torpedoes joke in there somewhere, but it didn't work. And I think Christmas Chef worked better. All right, so yes, I hope you guys are ready for another long-ass fucking ass episode.
That's a lot of ass.
Well, there's a lot of ass in Atlantis, am I right?
Hey!
It is also. It's fucking huge. Oh my god. This is only half of it, too. It ends on a fucking cliffhanger. God damn it. Well, okay, it ends on a cliffhanger the same way the second movie in a trilogy ends on a cliffhanger. But you know what I mean.
Everything is not resolved here.
Yeah. But it ends after a satisfying moment, but also leaves you to be like, okay, well, this is still only beat 1 in the story. Or beat 5 whatever. We're not gonna get into
honestly, I keep saying this. I feel like we're in movie 2 of a 3-movie series.
And we just missed movie 1.
Yeah.
That kind of seems about right. Alrighty. So let's just move swiftly on. I've bought us enough time for us to be able to continue with our stuff. I would like to remind everybody the episode is brought to you by our patrons like Adam DeHar, Pocket Comics, G, Charles, Dragon Ferris, Jeremy Vasquez, Jones, Sandoval, Jeremy Boston, Liam Kessler, Regent Raptor, Robyn, Trevor, 20p, some guy named Bob, 723, and Varen the Crow. If you like what we do want to see more, consider supporting us as a patron. It really helps us out, and we thank you for your support.
Thank you very much.
I am immediately going to smash the mash button.
Senpai, 起きてください.
Because it's time for Wake the Fuck Up Senpai. I will remember to enunciate, Jesus. Our regular segment for pro tips. I would like to remind everybody, Lotto season is coming. It's gonna happen. I gave it a date. It's on another frickin' Tuesday, so I have to use up my whole weekend to make another Wanted. Anyway. Please watch this one. I will cry. Also, don't just watch it, tell your friends to watch it, I guess. I don't know. So many people in the comments are like, but I watch it. I'm like, okay, but if you look at my numbers, there's a significant portion of people who watched previous ones who are not watching this one, so I need to reach them. Anyway, the actual pro tip here is if you are concerned about your lottoing, don't stress about finishing Lostbelt 5 if maybe you're a newer player and you need to catch up, or you've got some units you want to use or whatever, and you're waiting for those sweet, sweet lotto goodies. Because this just requires Fuyuki clear. So you don't have to rush the Lostbelt if you want your sweet, sweet lotto gains. Keep it in mind.
Mm-hmm.
And other than just reminding you that Lotto season is coming and that you don't need to stress about it, that's all I got for that.
Yeah.
Then let us very swiftly move on to Record Achievement topic. I have one that only happens once in a blue moon for me, but I'm very happy with this one. Mordred is Pond 10 now, yay!
Yay!
It happened fighting, fuck it, we give the spoil. We have been fighting Poseidon at the end. Yay.
Yay. Oof.
And that's it for me, for records.
I have one too. I have NP3 Estrella now. Because spoilers for later, Banner 2 did come out, and Estrella and Europa and Achilles were on, and I was all like, I don't have an Achilles or Europa. And you know what? My luck has been hot shit recently. Let's see if the streak continues. It did not continue.
The streak did not continue.
No.
See, this is one thing I think we've talked about I have slightly more control over. I did 110 spin on this banner. I got like 4 or 5 fucking 4-star CEs, really fucked my skip gang feng shui, and I'm like, this banner is cursed, I refuse. And I just went away. Whereas Lucky and several other people I know are just like, how dare? Anger? Roll? I usually get my soul crushed immediately, just like, well, this banner sucks.
Well, like I said, I didn't spend money, so I'll congratulate myself on that at least.
Yeah.
But no, it's all like, I started and I was all like, it'll be fine, I'll get something, and I did get something, I said, NP3 Estrella, which can be fun, maybe, I'm not sure, but as I transition to Not All the World's Evil, I kind of feel like I spent 150 quartz for no damn reason.
Entirely possibly. That is
It's
something.
like my funds are in a bit better of a place than they were after what did I spend a fuck ton of money on? I can't remember.
Sima
Sima Yi.
And also,
And,
was that the same J as somebody else? I don't remember. You clocked up a couple of things by last show.
Yeah, so I'm in a better place financially, so I will be able to like spend money for Yang, but at the same time I'm hoping please don't make me go into like the whole like $500, please.
You're praying.
I'm praying. Like $200, okay, I'll live with that. That's fine, but not 500.
Yeah. I mean, also technically I should probably put that I surmounted Atlantis, but I tweeted that along with the actual literal quote from Plato.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all should be aware of that, and if you aren't aware of that, you should follow us on Twitter, because it's great. We posted memes last time that people gave us during the live show, because it was great.
It was great.
Hey, as a reminder, last week's show was live, because it was fucking 6 hours long. And it wasn't even the whole fucking Lostbelt.
No, we're probably looking at we're probably looking at like a 4 to 5 hour show here, personally.
Yeah, and I'm going to warn everybody in the live show right now, while this is a Patreon benefit, I'm going to fucking disappear after the show stops rolling. I am like going to close everything else on my computer. I'm going to upload the audio, set the video to cook, and then I'm probably just going to grind out Estrella Ascending because I really want to play Chorus. And I have to defeat my backlog, damn it. Hopefully more news on that on What's Up Tomorrow. Anyway, let us blitz on through. Yeah, no, I will not be available for testing games. I have got to get this thing fucking edited. I am a busy boy. But let us move swiftly on to, did you finish your master missions? So, to complete this week's master missions, you need to defeat 15 beast-type enemies, defeat 15 undead-type enemies, defeat 3 knight-class servants, that is Saber, Lancer, Archer, and defeat 3 cavalry-class servants, that's the other 4 core classes, get 2 gems or statues, any kind, or then get 4 gems or statues. So, this one is actually interesting. It's not super complex, but it does actually require us to talk about it a little bit if we're going to be doing that, so... Earlier, when Lucky was getting started on some of these notes, I was actually poking random free quests to try and get a feel for the walkthrough on this. For beasts, and for some of those classes, if you're still early enough in Atlantis, you will clear those out. But if you're far enough on, demonic beast enemies basically disappear, so you will not complete them necessarily, so you gotta go other places. However, these are still but easy ones to accomplish. You can get the undead and both servants done with Fuyuki X7, XF, I believe. That has, I think, 5 or 6 skeletons and 2 shadow servants. I think it's 6 skeletons, 2 shadow servants. One is a lancer, one is an assassin. So you just do that a couple of times. It's like 6 AP every time.
Mm-hmm.
You're fine. And if you want to get beasts easily, I would want to recommend Jura Forest in Orleans. That's like 7 AP. You get like 5 werewolves per run, and it's got a shadow servant rider on it. And
nice.
Hopefully you get your gem drops. So, yeah, I did actually do a little bit of research to smooth this. It's still pretty easy if you know the ins and outs. Anything that's undead is very simple in FGO. Just punch skeletons and Fuyuki for cheap.
Jelly-mans.
You can never escape Mr. Bones' wild ride. I think I got a couple of bone drops doing this, actually. Just a couple.
That's how bones do.
But all right, it is time to stop faffing and jump into the news. We've already spent 10 minutes here. So, let's run through these Skelegrams. Number 1, JP, making Christmas party. There's no commas in this, so I don't know if it's making Christmas party or making, Christmas party or making Christmas party. I don't know. It's going on from the 8th until the 17th. So somehow we got a cooking event, and it isn't Emiya Gohan flavored.
I am slightly upset, but I have Tarask and a chef has, and this makes everything better.
Anyway, complete the main quests for access to Santa Martha Caster. We'll have more deets later. So, interestingly enough, this Christmas event doesn't have a new SSR. Straight up does not. Instead, we have a rotation between Scotty and Benny Enma, with Emiya and Writer Martha available at all the time. The CEs look pretty neat, though. There's a Santa, William Tell.
Yeah.
There's also in our usual sexy Christmas outfits, there's a Scheherazade in the Force slot.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Scotty NP got a big rank up. Now it gives 5 turns of 20 to 30% attack up based on NP levels, as well as 3 uses 5 turns of 50 to 100% crit up damage for everybody based on NP level. So if you actually rolled multiple NPs on your Scotties, that's usually not very useful, but now it actually seems like it has a fairly decent use. Apparently, I haven't heard this out of our server, but apparently this is a little controversial. I saw earlier today that Chaldea Gurus actually posted a video that was basically the Scotty NP buff is good, actually. It was a little more clickbaity and call-outy than that. I don't...
Good, actually? Oh.
As in, like, people are dumb, they think it's bad, and I'm like, huh, that's interesting. I haven't watched the video, so I don't know, like, the overall level, because... At least from the title, it seems like I agree with the opinion. But yeah, apparently some people think this buff is not good? Question mark?
Yeah, I don't understand why. It's like, it's a buff. Like, when has a buff ever been bad?
And I would like to put this out there. Now you actually have an incentive to use Scotty's NP in an offensive team. Because before, you didn't.
What inherent issues?
Yeah, Jesus, I don't know what Scotty's inherent issues are. You do quick loops.
I know, like,
I always felt like the issues with Scotty comps were with other units who like didn't meet her standards for your dumb loop strategies. Is this like kind of like a popular blowback thing? Like the Scotty meta got so popular that people are like, Scotty's bad actually. Like I don't know. I mean, I've been yelling about it because the Scotty conspiracy is crazy, but like, yeah.
Well, that's to make her work. I mean, no servant exists in this vacuum. Of course, you're gonna pick the quick caster with other quick units. Fuck, I double Scotty comma all the time. I don't do loops because I'm not about that life. But when I need to make my green cards go burr, that's when it is. The only problem I ever had with Scotty is that while her NP, she does have an NP, there's not necessarily a lot of reason to use it. And boom, they just fucking fixed the fuck out of that.
Yeah, I mean, so people are talking about, NP gain would be nice, healing would be nice.
Yes, a 50% targetable battery. Fuck you guys.
Yeah, I get what you're going for, but the reason you do the double Scotty system is you do 2 Scotties, that's 100% battery. You can put literally any CE you want on those servants, and quick end arts have this bug about the overcharge effect, the overkill. So, I thought the point was that you don't need NP gain up because your NP just resets itself. Obviously, I think NP gain wouldn't be bad because it opens up more teams, right? Because that is a thing where, like, some servants are just considered DOA by the, by the greater meta community.
Well, yeah, well, again, when you start judging things by their meta worth, I mean, you get into a whole barrel of bullshit.
Well, I mean, there's a reason why despite being very well made, thanks to Dallas's help, our Zhang Yu wanted did not do super good because people didn't care about him because he doesn't have enough hits to loop, even though he's a fucking crazy unit for a Berserker.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I will say, though, like I said, offensively, I think this does a lot for Scotty. It gives you another damage amp. It gives you more critical damage, which is very important. And it gives you an incentive to actually get more MP levels because people were only previously using Scotty's NP to do, like, weird meme stall strats, right? Like, yeah. I think there is something to be said for, like, Scotty doesn't cover all the bases, but I think I want to agree with Axe's point earlier he said in the chat. What if we had other quick supports, though? What if we had a different quick support who covered different bases, and you could possibly use other units? Like, we talked about this before, right? Castoria and Tamamo don't necessarily replace each other. They have different strengths, which means you can use them both together. You can obviously double Castoria, double Tamamo, etc. But if you use both of them, you get a benefit of more overlap. Similarly, Buster got heavily revitalized by Koyanskaya because she lets you charge more NP out of using Buster cards. I still don't think she has anything that is quite like what Merlin does with Hero Creation. Gonna be real. Hero Creation is very dumb.
The people who want NP game just want to basically be able to Scotty loop with anybody. That's it. That's all it is.
And I get the understanding, right? Those people have probably heavily invested in quick units and Scotty because there is a certain amount of, I guess, I don't know if it's quite fallacious. There's a little bit of sunk cost. I don't know if it's actually a fallacy because there is sunk cost in the gacha, right? Like, you have what units you have. So, I mean, I farm as well. Anyway, I don't know. Are we talking about, like, farming free quests? I don't know. There's some elements here that I don't follow because I've never had 2 Scotties, so.
Well, again, this is the problem of you guys are trying to use basically one solution to solve every problem. Every problem.
I haven't done the wanted yet. Is Saber still full AoE?
I'm not sure.
If he is AoE, you're literally supposed to use him to farm Lotto boxes. ST, okay, that's not good. Ooh, that's a little wrong, Delightworks. That's kind of bad. Maybe they're trying to avoid bloat. Spoilers for the pregame. There's bonus damage in this. I think that means that all of the plus 100% bonus damages are not AoE, because I think I'm pretty sure Nightingale is STE, and even if she's AoE, the top Lotto node is Lancers, so that won't work. The damage bonus will just cancel itself out. She is AoE, okay, but I believe the best node is Lancers, so that won't work. And the other one is regular Nightingale, who has no damage in her NP. Which is very funny. So that's a little awkward, but also the HP levels are pretty low. So I don't know. We got weird ones, you know. I think Delightworks is constantly trying to battle with, well, we can't make it too easy for some players to just smooth brand everything, but also we don't want to make it too tedious so that our player base can grow, you know?
Mm-hmm. It's a delicate balance.
Yeah. And so, like I said, I feel like there is a little bit of a one-size-fits-all problem with the meta. Like, everybody tries to get, like, the next best thing. Never mind that you know that literally in a year, Delightworks will come up with a new thing that will be different. It has happened several years in a row now. Like, there was the Scotty release. Da Vinci wasn't, like, a huge breakthrough, but she had a lot of, like, looping and quick charging potential on your teams for you to do, like, better QP farming, for sure. But then there was Castoria next. And then there's going to be Coin Sky of Light next. God knows what's going to happen in Anniversary 7, you know? We're constantly evolving, especially because Delightworks has not released a low rarity unit in a while. That is something we can talk about. But no, like, seriously, this gives you an incentive to use her NP, and use her NP on the teams you didn't want to use her NP on, because it's got that critical up and that source of attack up, which, you know, overlaps with everything.
Listen,
like I said, I don't know if it compensates for what people want out of Scotty, but I think it serves the purpose that Delightworks wants, which is they want you to give a shit about Scotty NP levels.
I mean, I only have an MP1 Scotty, but when we get this upgrade, whenever, I mean, I'm just gonna give her a K scope and just stick her in front of. Actually, no, I'll give her I'm gonna give her a K scope. I'm gonna just have her NP before Kama does, and people are like, yes, more overcharge, more damage, go, my girl, go.
Overcharge levels, free attack levels. Free critical levels for 5 turns, by the way. This thing exceeds charisma for 5 turns. It's pretty good. It's like, if this was any servant besides Scotty, this would be fucking nuts. Well, it's like imagine if, let's see, Merlin's already got, like, I don't know what the Merlin equivalent would be. It's like if Garden of Avalon, like, also gave you, like, debuff clear per turn or something nuts. I mean, Merlin has a few rate ups. I think they deliberately are careful about Merlin because he makes damage numbers, single hit damage numbers, so wonky, and he has those very easy to access hard defenses. It's a little weird. We'll see what happens. I don't know. They've given Merlin a few rate ups. They just usually play stingy because they know people want that guy. Anyway, my last bullet point on the news is that this does seem to indicate we will be getting a skip of last year's Christmas rerun. Maybe. We'll see how it goes. They could always put it off somewhere else, though. It is called Road to Santa, so I don't know if they want to do it seasonally. Maybe this is just an issue of those years with really packed year-end seasons. Like, obviously for us, right, we have our own Thanksgiving. We had a Saber Wars 2 right away, so it's not as intense, but, you know, we have a Christmas and a new story release that is very meaty, and a rerun of New Year's coming up. Was there a New Year's event last year? Yes, it was. That's a quick question. Was Little Big Tengu technically the New Year's event, or was that after New Year's?
I think that was after New Year's. I could be wrong though.
Okay, so there was no event for New Year's, so they could displace the rerun. We have seen that Delightworks is playing fast and loose with the order of events, right? I can easily see them moving the rerun maybe to make it fit better. I don't know. They might skip it entirely. The fact that this one doesn't have a new SSR, and I have some thoughts about Santa Martha's overall design philosophy, really makes this feel like this is a time-saving measure. Like, they have had so much fucking content this year. Their writers are all fucking dead. They need something easy. So they didn't even bother designing a new SSR. They were like, fuck it, we'll just, you know, throw out a Scotty refresh. I don't know.
Well, Architect, you can't say that it doesn't have necessarily doesn't have a rerun yet.
Yeah, we don't know for sure. We just know that it didn't happen before the current one. Let's move through our news, though. That pocket controversy aside. We have a handful of NA news items. First of all, Atlantis Pickup 2 did happen. Started on the 7th, goes until the 14th. Hey, Europa's on this one.
Hey, there she is.
As expected, And also, as expected, the Wanted Europa is not doing well, even with an old-style thumbnail. You should watch it, but given the fact that the comments are overflowing with, yeah, she's cool, but I'm going to wait for a spook. Nah, I get it, people. Speaking of units, by the way, who probably really need a buff because they need their own niche. That lady. That granny.
Such a good old granny.
Super Orion hasn't gone catastrophic places, but it has at least kept steady views since I switched the thumbnail, so I don't know what I'm going to do with Saber Astolfo. Maybe I'll I'll do the new style thumbnail, but I won't sepia tone the colors, and I'll like put some Santa hats in it. I don't know. I'll try and, if I have enough creative juice left by Monday, I'll try and zazz up the thumbnail a little.
Well, what you need to do is you just need to get a borderline not safe for work Saber Astolfo. Just ask an artist, be all like, hey, can I just borrow this for a thumbnail? And just throw it out on there. That get the clicks. Get that skin. Oh, yeah.
So we have one more bit of the news. Just a pre-announcement. This was just tweeted earlier today. Nightingale Christmas Carol will be happening from the 14th to the 27th. So, yes, now actually lining up with Chrimbo. I have 2 bullet points here. Ain't no rest for the wicked. And then anyway, there's no details or updates or anything. We just know the time frame, and the pregame is enclosed below. And now let's step into our next bloody conflict. Something that has been going the works on all servers, but was explicitly announced on NAJP, and was announced in several languages. Delightworks has decided it's time to remind everybody that data mining is technically against the terms of service, and to please not publish unreleased material such as servant data mines and sprites before they are officially released on the internet, please. So, yeah. I mean, I don't think anybody's rioting in the streets over this one.
Well, I think there's just to be something people on the internet will just get upset in general when people tell them you can't do that.
Well, and I will say this. I read the notice. It's not like they say you can't do this. They're just like, hey, heads up. We've told you this is against our policy for you guys to, like, snoop in our data end of our service. Please don't do that. If you publish it online to the public, we will pursue all available recourse because that's against our rules that you technically agree to. So it's like they're telling you you're not supposed to do it, but they're not like, you can't do this. They're like, hey, if you do this, we will do something about it. We won't sit here and suck it up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's an interesting place. I mean, I kind of we've talked about this in response to, this has apparently been an ongoing problem. A lot of data miners and leakers are getting very good at getting into the updates that Delightworks is like seeding ahead of time on events, right? They even tweeted some stuff out before. I mean, it always kind of sucks when you're working hard on something and then somebody else comes along and like sneaks out, not even what you're fully working on, but like, halfway there out to the public and like, hey, look at this. I do think that this is another thing that, like, as we've seen with like Japanese streaming, this is a weird Japanese corporate culture thing. I think a little bit of like, they really want the hype to be in the moment when they planned it, right?
Yeah. I don't know that's necessarily a weird thing. I mean...
well, I'm saying, like, connecting to, like, how a lot of Japanese, like, game studios are still like, hey, please don't stream our game ahead of time. Don't stream past, like, certain points, like... Whereas a lot of Western studios are just like, hey, once it's after embargo, do what you like. We understand that some people like to consume our media this way. Or, I argue, I wonder if this is kind of the same reason why Toei Animation is a clusterfuck, not to dive into that landmine either, but, like, literally, right hand versus left hand, Toei Animation is out there contacting this YouTuber, Totally Not Marked, to, like, do free promo for them, and then on the other hand, they're fucking manually copyright claiming his entire back catalog, so if it so much as mentioned Dragon Ball, let alone if it actually used any animation from them, right?
All right.
So, like, I don't think Delightworks is that bad. It's just, there's definitely something in the corporate culture over there that's like, hey, don't go sharing our stuff outside of the venues where we wanted it shared, and don't leak pre-release things.
I mean, I personally think it's fair because I'm someone like I said, I have a tangent about this. I'll probably talk about Lotto, but I hate being spoiled. I really do. And there are a lot of current trends nowadays, and none of you can fucking deny this, where in order to get people to click on their videos, content creators will just throw all the fucking spoilers right up on their fucking video and just throw it out into the world. And I can be looking at something, 3 degrees separations away, and it'll just pop up on my fucking feed, and I'll be like, Gee, thanks, guys.
Yeah, this is something we noticed. I think this, for FGO anyway, this stuff started happening about definitely Olympus and I think even Atlantis a little bit, but like it is followed through. Every freaking FGO YouTuber who isn't us is like, oh, search engine optimization, spoilers for everything.
Yeah, so it's
here's
like
this character by their name battle theme, and I'm like, okay, on the one hand, yes, that means that your product is more searchable because people will search for that thing directly when they're caught up and they're like, ooh, this boss had a sick theme, I want to hear it. Yeah. But also the way the YouTube algorithm works is YouTube doesn't understand. Twitter's the same way. Every time I see a Twitter trend about something spoilery, usually it's a My Hero Academia chapter number, I'm just like, this trend is harmful or spammy. I don't think spoilers should trend, but algorithms are computers and we haven't taught them to understand spoilers because usually people get sucked into the hype and click on stuff. Like, I'm okay with spoiling myself. I don't want to be spoiled, you know?
I'm the exact same way.
Like, I sometimes actually quite enjoy reading ahead and understanding stuff. I actually, like, read a lot of summaries of new story as they come out, right? Like, I knew a lot of the beats from this one. But also, because I know that these are human translators, like, you know, kit-bashing these things out in their mom's basement. No offense to anybody who does any hard work to actually translate FGO stuff for the fans. Just, you know, you're not being paid. You're just doing it for fun, and it's not always the exact same response because honestly, sometimes I think that like because Delightworks has executive control, sometimes I feel like they take the opportunity to like tweak the English scripts to like clarify points that are maybe unclear. That or just maybe the fact that they use like either obscure Japanese or they use like loan words means that some of the translations are just like, I have no fucking idea what this concept is, right? Mm-hmm. Because I feel like sometimes people are super confused by things that happen in Lostbelt chapters in Japanese, and then when they come out in English, I just read them and I'm like, oh, that'll follow. So I understood all that. Like spoilers. There was a lot of like questions and misinformation about Charlotte when this story came out first in the JPs. It's very clear in the actual translated English text. So yeah, I don't know. There's a difference between like me understanding that kind of stuff on a high level and knowing, right, that it's spoilers, it's sometimes half translated, it's people trying to be we'll get into it later when we actually talk about those bullet points, but like it's one thing for me to know these things intellectually and then another for me to just be on YouTube and just be like, whoa, that's a story boss that I just saw in our spoiler channel, which is, you know, hidden by default, it's marked special, you know, it's got all these warnings in it and stuff. I think I even marked it as a not safe for work channel, so you have to volunteer to be in it. Also, I mean, that's also means there's no problems if you post like Final Ascension art in it. But yeah, like, and then I just see that same thing as the screenshot as a thumbnail on a YouTube video that's 5 seconds long, and I'm just like, come on, guys, you're just, I know you want the clicks, but you're fucking it up for people who don't want to click and can't. It's not about them clicking, it's about them seeing your video. They don't want to see your video, and you just throw it out there for them. I don't know. But ultimately, I think I agree with you on the point of, like, the data mining. Like, I get that people like to know what's going on. They like to poke at data. Some people are naturally inquisitive, right?
Well, yeah.
I think that Delayworks' main point here is, hey, maybe don't just throw this shit up on Twitter.
I mean, like,
everybody can see it, and especially they can see it, because you're kind of throwing it in their face.
I definitely talked about that. If you're throwing it up on like a public, like if you like data mine something and you go show your friends and be, oh man, check this shit out. It's like your close circle of friends. I mean, I'm pretty sure all your friends are into that stuff too. That's cool. But if you just throw it out there into the internet wild so everyone can see it, you're doing that just because you want fucking attention.
Like,
you
hell,
really do.
I'll even say this as an admin, right? We have our own Discord server. It's got a spoiler channel. If you find some sneaky data mines on the internet or you data mine your own stuff, I don't mind if you post that at spoiler channel. I'm just letting you know that since Delightwork has put this thing out, I will absolutely sell your ass out to big government if they come knocking. That is how that works. If they're like, hey, did somebody post illegal content on your server? I would be like, yes, sir. Do you want me to take it down? Okay, thank you. My server is not worth the legal bills. Unfortunate but true. So yeah, like that's like an enclosed community thing. But like if you're just like, hey, look what I found on Twitter. Yeah, well.
Like, you just want some likes and some retweets, and
I understand it. I wish more people followed me on Twitter.
Yeah, me too. But I would rather people follow like and retweet for me my wit and cleverness rather than some shit I dug up.
I'd much rather have the like what is it, like 5-ish likes I think I've got on my dumb Atlantis joke tweet, or my throwing out random yells about the Game Awards, which don't have any likes, so I'm very sad. But if they got likes, I'd appreciate that. But yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like, I get that people are concerned about, like, man, that would suck if, like, the Lightworks, who has all this money, like, sues you over data mines. But also, like, we're doing posting private data. It's not for the public yet. You probably shouldn't be posting it in a public forum just because that's, like, uncouth. Like, we've had our conversations, right, about, like, piracy and supporting official releases versus accessibility and stuff. I still say with good conscience, you don't fucking go to the streets and shout out, I torrented Game of Thrones! Because that's uncouth. And also because the HBO boogeyman may come to your house and send you a lovely letter. Letters which I have, in fact, received. Of the cease and desist. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Not like proper official C&Ds, but like warnings that your ISP is like, hey, HBO called us and we're calling you. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess I won't watch the end of Game of Thrones. It's part of HBO's plan to make me buy HBO Max. They've almost succeeded. But anyway, that's, I think, all of our thoughts on that one. That intro bit took 30 minutes.
13 minutes.
So that means I think it's time to gear up for the bag, unless we got any more newsy thoughts.
Well, not necessarily news.
Miss any news, chat?
This ain't really necessarily news, but I do want to let people know. Guys, if you have pre-ordered your Camelot movie, you might be getting it in the mail any day now if you haven't gotten now. Even though it doesn't release for like another 4 days, apparently Right Stuff will just ship things out as soon as it arrives to their warehouse. Because I got mine, 2 days ago? Yesterday, 2 days ago? Like, almost a week ahead of schedule. I'm just all like, thank you, parcel fairies. But also, what?
One of those situations. Love it when that happens.
Oh yeah, they have also announced the JP New Year stream where they're going to be showing the new case files opening episode, and Romani's VA is going to be there. So everyone is all screaming Solomon or Gatia servant when.
I mean, that's interesting because Solomon and Gatia have different VAs, but also
I know.
Through parts of it you would use his voiceover, maybe.
Maybe, who knows? And yes, there is arcade news in a few days. We'll see what they're coming up with their new singularity. People are screaming for a prototype Gil or Alter Gil. Or Gil Alter? Galter, yes. Already got a name for him.
Creative. God, there's like 4 fucking empty water bottles in my trash can. Damn, I'm dehydrated today. I'm thirsty.
The thirst.
I'm thirsty for some mail, Lucky.
You're thirsty for some mail? Well, who am I to keep it from you? So, with that, we're going to go ahead and get started with this week's Let's Talk FGO Mailbag, the segment where we read what you have to send in and comment accordingly. Or not. I could just yeet it into the void. That is the internet trash bin. Where it's not actually yeeted. It's somewhere there forever. But we have, let me double check this, 25, but we have a big fat section in the back half. We got the second half of our Atlantis thoughts all the way to the end. And
yes, including a micro essay I wrote about it.
My guess. And we also got the Christmas pregame, which won't take as long. But still.
No, it's actually pretty simple. I appreciate it, but it still exists, as does discussing Santa Martha.
Mm-hmm.
So
with that, we are going to get started.
This show is a chunky boy.
It is going to be a chunky boy. Unfortunately, because it's a chunky boy, we have an hour timer, and it's going to start right meow. And our first one came from really wishing I had a King Hassan to kill the concept of tests and essays. Fair? Fair. Hello, fellow Argonauts. Lucky and Omega with new JP Christmas events, including introducing Santa Martha and being able to open 100 boxes, which makes my inner UBW abridged Shiro scream, I want that. I'd like to ask, what other quality of life updates would you like implemented for common event types / mechanics? Well, that's all for the week. I hope you both are doing well and that you guys are having or have fun with Atlantis. What won't be is farming those star fragments for Orion and future servants. See ya next time. My voice feels weird. Let me get some water here real quick.
All right, well, Lucky, get some water. I am already pre-watered. So, I don't really know any, because there's not that many common event types, right? I don't really know besides the Lotto opening 100 boxes. Actually, that seems pretty useful. You know?
Oh, yeah.
I've had that many currencies before. But I'm trying to think, like, what else? Like, other than like a, and I'll see if I'm accidentally going to scoop Lucky here. Other than like I'd like maybe a accept all missions button, maybe. Because sometimes those mission events stack up, a few deep, and you have to manually click all of them, especially when you have to, like, go back to the map and see new nodes you unlocked and stuff. I'd like to just maybe be able to just, like, suck all those little orange numbers out at once. That might be more complex.
Yeah, maybe. I feel like that'd be a pain, because a lot of the times when you complete a mission, it unlocks a new mission.
Yeah, like I said, that might be too programming complex, but, if we're spitballing.
I mean,
if we wanted actual quality of life, I wouldn't again, this is me enjoying, wanting to be a lazy motherfucker, but skip tickets or something, spend a resource, just skip a battle and just pick up resources. Because the thing I've always felt is once you've beaten a node and you've gotten it down to a particular science, then it just becomes monotonous, and then it's not really fun anymore. Now it's just brain dead button pushing.
Yeah, and FGO tries stuff like that in a different way, in that some events, especially point-based events, have, like, a daily quest you can do that gives you, like, huge drops, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they're usually, like, different or harder, so they can be flexible. Imagine if they just apply that to, like, every day when you log in during the event, you get, like, so many, like, runs worth of, like you said, skip tickets that are just, like, you can apply the tickets just like you would apply. It's not like FGO hasn't had items that can proc before you do a battle, remember?
Mm-hmm.
You just apply it and are like, autocomplete, you get, however your equivalent drops are, but you only get, so many per day. Like 5, I think seems like a fair number. Just like, and it can only be done on a free quest you've cleared already.
Yes.
So you have to do the initial work. You have to know what you're doing. It's a little bit like how Arknights handles auto battle. And a lot of other games in that vein, where you have to have cleared it already and know what it is, and they just simulate your team, and it just does it. And you just get free drops. But not so much that, you wouldn't be better for, like, maximum overfarm to do most of it manually and spend, like, apples or Saint Quartz or whatever on it, but just enough that, like, you could get some free farming per day done without needing any of your attention. And I know that FGO wants your attention a little bit, but a lot of gacha games these days, a lot of more modern games have these almost, like, I don't want to say anti-attention feature, but they have these, like, put your phone down and come back features, which FGO has none of. I don't think anything other than rolling in FGO proceeds automatically.
Yeah, so I definitely think that it would benefit from to respect your time a little bit more. Respect my time. Anyway, spend enough time on that. We're on a timer. We have to remember that. So, Yum, we're gonna keep going. So, thank you very much for that. This next one comes from Line.
Help us go fast. Quick, Lucky, speed.
This next one comes from Master Modeling over Mysterious Melody manifesting in his account. Hey, Lucky to Meg, have you recovered? Okay, speed. Have you recovered emotionally from the Odyssey that was LB5? See what I did there. Atlantis will probably go down as one of my favorite story chapters in FGO alongside Babylonia and Shimosa, but I reckon it'll probably be the most emotionally trying story we've ever experienced. I have heard some currency of too many MacGuffins and conveniences, but I digress. Thanks for failing consistent, and arguably the only one I personally felt was the Deus Ex Monster was spoiler. The Apollo Paris turning into an arrow. Regardless, I thoroughly enjoyed the story, and I can't wait for Olympus, even though my favorite Saber, Ellipses. No question for the week. I'm looking forward to wrapping up the remainder of the story during Free Talk. If you have me, I wish to rant over my horrible luck in regards to spooks this year, which is by inspiration behind my Alice. Do you just come on here to yell about your roles? I swear.
Yes. Well, he does at least preface if you'll have me.
No, I won't, because we only got an hour, so we're going to move on. I'm sorry.
That's us shifting into 5th gear.
So, I'm sorry about your roles. I'm suck. I hope they get better, but we got to move on. Thank you very much. This next one comes from Void Dust Crusader, who says, nothing for me this week, just sending more well wishes in this holiday season. I hope you guys get what you want for your GSSR summon. I do too. Thank you very much, and I wish you the best of luck as well. Moving on.
Stand proud, buddy. Yes, that was a JoJo's reference.
Yes, it was. This next one comes from a master facing giant mecha Atlantean gods and thinking this would be a perfect time to use Avalon if I had one. Hey, Lucky Omega, Lostbelt 5.1 was such a blast. I had a similar experience with Super Ryan, where a little time after in the story, I just had to pull this giant teddy bear. Managed to pull him, and oh boy, is he so much fun. Brings Unga Bunga to a whole new level. Anyway, my question this week is, given what Orion said about his purpose in the Lostbelt, do you think that Gaetius still qualifies as a beast of humanity? I wonder what this change in attitude will make him a potential ally, and yes, also summonable. Also, there might be Also, there might be other threats that he was meant to handle with certain Fox Heroes apps, perhaps. Well, have a great week, and may your future roles be blessed.
Well, I feel like we're gonna. It's not in our notes, but we're gonna re-dive into this. I think when we go to this summary later, because that is kind of a big plot point. I do think that as King of Humans, I do kind of feel like Gatia has changed as a person. We know it is possible for beasts to basically have their Saint Graph stop being beasts. We have 2 of them. One of them is in my Chaldea right now. And 2 of them are in the roster. So, then, depending on where exactly Koinskaya ends up, considering that she was summonable, but we're doing an event based on her, I don't know. It seems a little backwards. Anyway.
I'm pretty sure they're going to do the Castoria thing where after you do this event, her voice lines are going to change and things are going to make a lot more sense.
Yeah. But that seems like, especially the way that's framed up, that seems like, because, Ninetales is a bad thing. We're building to that kind of mood, right? It certainly is possible. I do kind of appreciate that they didn't do the immediate thing where they immediately made him playable. But I do think that, yes, from what we've seen so far out of the story, what we've seen with our previous beast candidates, ex-beasts, post-beasts, whatever, certainly seems like he can change his qualification and, pop back.
Yeah, so with that, we're going to keep going. Thank you very much for that. So, this next one comes from Proud Level 80 Charlotte Haver. Scotty Buff, woot! Hey y'all, this week I wanted to ask what server has given you the most heart-wrenching feels. Not gacha, not libido feels, not simply heart feels due to writing. Unsurprisingly, Charlotte has made that list for me, and I would have loved to have her around for a bit longer during story. Regards. She's a good girl, I tell you. Honestly, well, you say longer, but I'm pretty sure Charlotte is, aside from the main crew, Charlotte is the one who spends the most time with you.
I mean, yeah, she, exits a little earlier, but she exits a little earlier, but she comes in a little earlier as well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, she's right there immediately after,
yeah.
Like, oh shit, everything blew up.
Like, Mandricardo comes in after her. I mean, actually, technically, those major characters, spoilers if you're not there yet. But you should already be spoiler warned anyway. This is the big one. But the 3 characters that we meet, at least those 3 major supporting characters we see all the time, they exit in the order they appear.
Mm-hmm.
Charlotte exits first, then Mandricardo, then Jason at the very end when he was the last guy we dug the fuck up, right?
Right.
And technically, Super Orion goes out before Mandricardo. Actually, no, after.
After.
Yeah, sorry. Got my order confused a little there. Listen, we not only did we play all of Lostbelt 5, we've also been speed reviewing it to try and write our notes for this, so... But anyway, yeah, those consistent characters go out in that order. So I think we had a fair level. But yeah, Charlotte has good feels. But several people are saying in the chat there, Melt is definitely a big one.
Yeah, no, Melt. I'm trying to think here. Like feels? It still has to be fucking Mash at Solomon.
I mean, we get her back, but yeah, I think that counts.
We get her back, but just in that moment of just the expositions going, fucking, they have the CGs, fucking the music box version of Snowflake Shield.
FGO does its most emotionally heart-wrenching storytelling, which is they bust out the full illustrations, the third-person monologue. That's when you know shit is serious, when there's a third-person narration, right? And so on and so forth. So yeah, that's another big one. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, definitely Melt. CC's the Sarov story turned me around 180% on Melt. I'm not gonna lie. Aresh was very good. Well, the thing was, Aresh was already cute and adorable, but just Merry Christmas from the Underworld is great. I mean, I still fucking listen to A Sun in the Underworld, constantly. But unfortunately, we cannot dwell over long on this. So we must go on, but thank you very much. This next one comes from Go Argonauts. Argonauts does sound like a mech. No question, just wanted to say good luck with the upcoming Lotto and New Year's GSSR pool. The lineups for each class look really good this time around. I'll be rolling on the Archer banner because I literally can't miss, with my worst case scenario being in an MP2 Jean Archer. Wow. It's going to be a good new year. Well, I hope so, my dude.
I think for GSSR, there's some I don't think there's any that's just all free. I think I have a limited unit in every class, or at least in every banner, because extras. But I will definitely still be doing Saber.
I'm boned no matter what I do.
I think that was true anyway.
Yeah.
This is not like how the free SSR ticket was, because we had to have this discussion about whether or not Europa would be on it. She is on it, because she technically came out in 2021, which I presented that to people as my bingo card of what I'd already gotten. And there are some classes, it may shock you, I have... Wow, shit. Damn, dude. Sorry, that cutoff is something from the chat. Very, very poignant image caps. But for the SSR ticket, there's like some where I have just like, any of these in this class would be brand new. Which is a little weird, guys. 5 years, still don't have some of the permanents in some classes. Spoiler, one of them is Berserker. That's gonna come back later. Anyway. Just in general, the GSSRs are good when they do all limiteds. It's a good thing. Thumbs up.
I'm probably still going to roll just on Assassin just so I can get maybe another comma. So, with that, we're going to move on. And this next one comes from Spirit of Christmas Chaos, Cyrus21, who says, "Hey guys, hope you're both doing well. I'm fine, barring a sore ankle from a tumble yesterday. Oh no. I managed to get both Super Ryan and Commander Carter at MP1, though, before that, so that's good. Anyway, my question is this. Which of the Santa servants would you want delivering your Christmas gifts? I'd probably pick Santa Artoria Altor, even if I don't have her in-game. Anyways, good luck on future rolls and the like. Have a happy holiday season. My answer would be easily Santa Altera and Fluffy Sheep and cute Mamiko Noto sheep noises. That's the best.
At least so far, but I suspect from what we know about Nightingale, it will remain true. Out of all of our Santas, Altera and Artoria are definitely the ones that are doing their best to actually bring you gifts. Because John Lilly has some interesting ideas about gift giving. Ketz isn't a Santa at all. She's a wrestler or a samba dancer. And I believe that Nightingale canonically is giving you medicine instead of candy. So yeah, no, definitely. I think I agree with that sentiment. They would actually be delivering gifts.
So with that, though, let us keep moving on. Thank you very much for that. This next one comes from an Artoria stan who says, "Greetings, Lucky and Omega. Hope you're both doing well. Sending back the good vibes and giving more good vibes. Hope the rest of your weekend. Have a great rest of your weekend, Smoke Bomb." Honestly, the rest of my weekend, I might not be sleeping. I might just be playing Final Fantasy so I can get through it at my pace and not be spoiled anymore. Because I guess I'll talk about it a little bit. I'm going to pause the timer here real quick.
Pause the timer.
Oh, we're only at 45 minutes. I think we're going okay. But at work, I usually listen to music of some sort. I like to joke that I'm going to go destroy Omega's algorithms.
Haha, joke's on you. I'm into that shit.
No, yeah, I've been listening to a lot of synthwave and
showwave. Yeah, I noticed. I've noticed the synthwave compilations. No, the thing that I had to clear out the backlog was when you listen to all of the Blue Archive OST individually, because that really cluttered that up there a little.
Yeah, no, that was it was a playlist, not a whole thing. But I was like, no, I like this music. But
anyway, yeah.
So I like to listen to like compilations and whatnot of like usual trains. So big surprise. I like, electronica. I usually like orchestral stuff. And do you know what has a lot of that kind of shit? Video games.
Yeah. And unfortunately, you like to watch the Endwalker trailers. They appear a lot in our YouTube history. YouTube thinks that our business account, our brand account, likes Endwalker. Uh-oh, what does that mean?
Yeah, so guess what? So like not everyone's guilty of this. Some people are a little more tactful with their fucking with their titles. Because I've seen a couple people posting like me, because people are posting music from like the new expansion and some of them are tactful about it. Other are just about like spoiler from spoiler to spoiler. Here you go. I'm just like, you motherfuckers. So I'm mad because I got spoiled on something, and I'm just like, okay, the only way that I'm not gonna get spoiled by something is if I beat everything and there's nothing left to fucking spoil.
Yeah, basically.
So unfortunately, I have a particular way of playing my MMOs. A lot of people are just ignoring all the side content and then just going straight through the story. I can't do that. I literally can't do that.
RPGs.
Huh?
I said that's not how you play RPGs.
Yeah, no. So I have to do I talked about this with the rest of my crows. It's like, no, I enjoy doing the side content as it's presented in game because you are in the moment and everything makes fucking sense at that point. If you go back, if you do all the story and then come back and hear these people talking about these problems that you had like 6 maps ago, it's a little weird. It's a little fucking weird. So I'm trying to do it all now. So I might fucking just not sleep. I was actually considering maybe streaming it, but I was like, nah, there's going to be spoilers abound in here, and I don't want people to necessarily
We
have their
don't
own
want to be those guys.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I could just preface since it's a spoiler stream, but it's like, nah, it'll be fine. So I might be a little out of it. Come what's up tomorrow, depends on.
Well, we'll see what happens. I've already said several times throughout the week, my sleep schedule has been absolutely fuckled. Probably because I don't want to say I'm working my ass off, but the video production has rapidly stepped up and is staying stepped up down here. So we're a little high speed, low drag down here. And Mr. Bones' wild ride doesn't end. Thanks, Albert.
Thanks. So my weekend's going to be interesting. That was a complete tangent because I just wanted to talk about.
Luckily, I have a plan for what I'm going to do for Lotto. I have finally installed my copy of Surviving Mars.
Oh, what is Surviving Mars?
It is a like a 4X type colony building sim on Mars by the City Skylines guys, published by Paradox. So that should tell you everything y'all need to know.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, I've seen some videos, and it's got, as usual, a lot of DLCs, so I'm like, let's maybe fire that up. You know me, love space. Everybody else apparently loves space. Can you believe how many fucking space games we saw at the Game Awards? Anyway, if we're going to start the timer back up, we should
I'm going to start the timer. Yeah, I started the timer back up. We'll talk about the Game Awards tomorrow, maybe, if we do what's up. I don't fucking know. I might be passed out. Anyway.
If Lucky is passed out, I'll do like an off-color stream of something and yell at people randomly. But also, you could have yelled it with us for those 3 hours live in our Discord.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we're burning sunshine. Let's go.
Let's go. So, where was I?
Artorias stand.
Artorias stand. Oh, they finished with Smoke Bomb.
Yes.
So thank you very much
for harmonic resonance of good vibes.
Yes. So this next one comes from Atlantis spoiler question. So warning to anyone who hasn't reached it. Question: what did Muramasa mean when he said to Australia that both he and the vessel never accomplished what they wanted? Doesn't that seem a little strange since the whole port of FSM was coming to terms and accomplishing something in each of the 3 routes, unless it could be a soft red corner, or am I forgetting something? Also, why did Australia say that her sight is firmly on that of the Lostbelt? Is it because she herself is Greek? Well, fun fact, no, Shiro did not actually accomplish what he wanted, because what Shiro wanted to accomplish was being the hero of justice that saved everybody. Guess what? He saved very few people.
Yeah, like the closest you get is in Fate, but even then, technically, Shiro has to live without Saber. Basically, he's in his eternal quest to reach Avalon. In that case, so he's still unfulfilled. Because I believe it's pointed out in the golden ending of the re-release, he can only reach Avalon, if he searches his whole life and basically dies doing it. In Unlimited Blade Works, he does become self-actualized, but it's not perfect. He becomes self-actualized by fighting himself.
He has to fight himself, and he's no longer the pure individual that he was before. He's been tainted, and he's realized that his path
he
is flawed.
The limits of his ideology, but he's still going to keep going forward. The point of Unlimited Blade Works is that he makes different decisions from capital E, Emiya.
Yeah.
And then in Heaven's Feel is literally about him giving up on his original dream to do New Dream, which is, I want to save Sakura specifically. But also, I would like to remind you that the Throne of Heroes doesn't give a shit about time, and remember, there's a timeline that still results in Emiya, the Counter Guardian. That still happens. He comes from somewhere, so that guy literally died not accomplishing shit. So there's plenty of timelines for them to pick a specific Shiro from to make sense for Muramasa to bond with. And as for Estrella, yes, I assume that's because she was a minor Greco-Roman deity.
Yeah, I mean, she's a Lostbelt god, you know?
I don't actually know if she was the Lostbelt god because she's got a human vessel, but, she literally is, 1, she's a goddess of balance, and 2, she's like, well, if I wasn't balanced, I would be on their side because I am divine myself. I am
I mean, she's not Lostbelt god, but she could have been summoned as a Lostbelt spirit, a Lostbelt servant.
Yeah. That's probably a better way to say it, because she's she is a true neutral, and then if she wasn't true neutral, she would not be on our team.
So, with that though, we're going to move on. Thank you very much. The next one comes from Killian King, who says, "Wish to apologize for my complicated question last week. I had an idea after seeing Kentucky's Babylon-related interlude, and the idea suddenly came to mind. Otherwise, hope you have a good upcoming Christmas." Don't worry, dude. It's already forgotten. Literally.
Yes, we've forgotten it, but I would like to point out, just as a general rule, guys, Just because you have a good idea, you don't have to throw them at us. Tell your friends. We are not necessarily the best critics of your idea. Don't send me your spec script, okay?
So thank you very much for that. We're going to move on. This next one comes from, where are the brakes on this Lostbelt? There are no brakes. There are only explosions.
Nemo removed the brakes for more efficiency.
Nemo Engineer is not happy about this.
I'm giving her a roll. She's got copping.
But they say, hey, I'm again lucky. No questions this week. Just saying hi and wishing you well. Well, hi back, my dude. Hope you are doing well myself.
Hiya there.
Hiya. So thank you very much for that. This next one comes from The Abandoned Warehouse. It says, hello, dear Lucky Omega. Happy journey and good wills on your sails. Nice. My rotten luck with AoRe's Rise continues. Neither Carrot Achilles or Grandma Europa answered my calls. Well, suck. I loved Atlantis. There were so many good moments, I couldn't name them all, especially like how this chapter was almost a parallel to Okeanos. It very much was. And that climax, man. That climax. 10 out of 10. Did not expect that to happen, and I was just like, shit! The moon goddess is falling out of the sky of loneliness, falling in love with a human. It was just great. No question this week. Too much excitement. Arrivederci. Yeah, no. It's great. I love it. We're going to talk about it soon, because we are actually powering through these quite...
Yeah.
At a decent pace. This next one comes from Scott Buff. They say, do you guys have any idea what happened to Dionysus and Atlantis, or in FGO in general? Does he not appear? Is he spoiler content? Where is our drunkard? As an aside, I'm now back on the Summer Medea movement. Peace. Scotty Buff equals good civ.
Lucky.
What?
I have a technical to bring up.
What?
This person with 2 separate aliases submitted twice. One of these is 2 days ago. One of these is 21 hours ago. Did you forget, good buddy? The person in the audience?
I mean, I'm not, like, I'm gonna say... I mean, they use 2 different aliases, and they are, like, spaced apart. So I'm gonna be like, it's fine.
So I wanted to bring it up. It was a moment. I was like, wait a second. So Dionysus and Atlantis, I assume he didn't exist, because remember, Dionysus was a demigod first. Child of Zeus and some lady, who Hera conned into telling Zeus to reveal his true form, and then she exploded. Which I assume means in this canon that Zeus turned into a giant robot and squished her. Anyway, but yeah, there's no reason for Dionysus to exist. He was a deity who, in his mythology, did not start out as divine and was added later. It's entirely possible he never existed in the Lostbelt, and there is some disagreement about the number of Olympians, but traditionally Hestia is the older one because she is actually, you know, Zeus' sister.
Yeah, and they do name check Hestia in this Lostbelt, so
yeah. So there's basically, I think it makes sense in this Lostbelt there would be no room for Dionysus to appear, other than possibly as a servant. He could be summoned. He was born a human.
I feel like, would they? Nah, they wouldn't. They could, but they probably... Anyway, that is that, so thank you very much for that. We're going to move on. This next one comes from the Tyrant King rushing to get a Bond 12 Scotty for that sweet extra 11 pool. They say, hey guys, how's it going? Have you finished your Christmas shopping yet? Listen, I'm buying everyone gift cards. I'm telling everyone, buy me gift cards. I don't want you to know what I actually want, okay? So my question is, with the Coin Sky event happening probably next week, who do you think the guys at the final silhouettes is? I've heard some people think it might be Abe no Seme, the enemy got, or the emperor that got used by Tama when she was dodgy. But what are your thoughts? P.S. Camelot review by Lucky next week? Maybe. Also, I don't know.
Yeah, there is that one silhouette left, and we still haven't got him. And I don't really know. We'll see. It might.
We will see.
We don't even know if it. Like, I know technically New Year's is next year, but they usually reveal that servant before the year comes out. So, like, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. But I'm not going to make any predictions on this. Abe no Seme will be a top-tier choice.
It's going to be Cagliostro. So we didn't do them last year, but since it's been a year, we're going to do them now. Okay. All right. Fine. Whatever.
So, with that, though, we must keep going on. Thank you very much for that. This next one comes from Bunny Girl versus the 5.5k Q line. The pain. This is why Lucky wrote a script. So they say, hey guys, no question this week. I was just waiting until I can get logged in and hopefully not get 2002'd out. Yes, this is the pain of the Final Fantasy 14 Q lines right now. Good luck on the rolls, and may Orion bless your next rolls with his muscles. Also have found an Endwalker. I'm having an okay time right now. I'm hearing people talk about the ending, not like in spoilers, and just in their feels, and everyone's on the floor sobbing. I'm just like, oh no. I also got, they also go on to say, I also got Orion at MP2 as my news of the week. Well, congratulations. I hope you enjoy that bare-faced man. So, this next one comes from Alias. I'm sorry if my gimmick causes displeasure, but it brings me great joy. Illiterate. Well, it does cause me displeasure, so I'm going to skip you. Moving on.
Yeah. I believe we here at Let's Talk FGO canonically subscribe to the rule of talk shit, get shot. Goodbye. Good day.
Yeah.
I said good day.
So moving on.
Patron chat just diving all in on this poor guy.
So this next one comes from Gordolf showing his true dad power. And they say, hopefully, good day, gallant, lucky, and daring gimmick. It's been a while since my last mailbag, thanks to my good old Welsh Wi-Fi dying on me for 2 weeks. Oof. So I hope everything has been good while I cease to exist. But did you cease to exist? I don't fucking know. If I'm not talking to you, are you there? What is this? I don't even fucking know. I'm gonna go lay down now. But I can't because I have to read more shit. For my question, I was just curious that at this stage of story, which crypto and servant pair did you enjoy the most and for what reason? Anyway, hope you guys are blessed with good luck and have a happy holiday. So I can't, like, as a pair, I really can't talk. I really can't talk, but I think, like, right now, I think my favorite crypto is Pepe. He's just a delight. I love him.
Yeah, Pepe has really interesting, like, in-depth character writing where he's, like, friendly but antagonistic at the same time, and, like, we actually, you know, get into his, like, backstory a little bit and, like, deeper character reasoning, but not, like, in, like, a horrible soul-crushing way, like Ophelia.
Yeah. Like Python is best after the Lostbelt, and she just is just like, oh my god, you dorks, why am I here?
Yeah, as a
is that my husband?
Summonable Python is way better than actual in Lostbelt Python, who's kind of one track.
Yeah.
Like, my favorite pair, I would say, is probably Kodak and Anastasia, because they have the best, like, actual proper master-servant relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they actually, like, fight as master and servant and get along and have plans and stuff, and, you know, Kadok's still a little busted up about it. But, like, Ophelia was stuck with Surtur Sigurd for a long time, which kind of really fucked their relationship. Python has good relationship with Lan Ling, but also she's, like, literally out here ordering him to take command spell bullets for her hubby. Prince of Lan Ling, jump in the way. Ah, damn. Luckily I have an invul.
I'm so pretty.
And
that reminds me, I need to do Lan Ling's interlude. I've almost got it unlocked.
And Ashwataman is also on the enemy side for most of the Lostbelt, and he's fucking mad about it, but still, you know?
He's very angry.
And we've already discussed at length what's the problem with Canis and WHODIME's working relationship, because all of that was in the front half of the Lostbelt. Weird.
Honestly, WHODIME is weird because he doesn't necessarily seem to be interacting with the servants, more as just using them.
Yeah, the man has plans. He's got stuff. I'm very, very interested to see what's up in Olympus, because this is in my giant big essay at the end, and I'll just say this point quickly before we move on. But I think this Lostbelt part is written really interesting because the Cryptor literally fucks off and leaves before the halfway point. Like, before halfway through the story, at Section 11, he just shows up, blows up your shit, and is like, well, my plans will come to fruition after 2 fights, so I can't get into an extra fight here. Gotta go, bye!
Did I talk about the how this entire chapter feels like we're in part 2 of a 3-part movie?
I don't remember if that was on mic or not. We've been doing this for over an hour. But yeah, usually when we talk about Lostbelts, we discuss how our relationship with the Cryptor as, like, a foil and stuff goes. We can't really do that here because WHODIME literally shows up, nukes us from orbit, and then goes home. And his servants fuck off too. Like, he has 2 more of his other servants dispose of one of his first servant. Like, it's really weird in terms of the setup. So yeah, it's kind of hard to talk about their relationship yet.
No, but I have I am of the impression that not everything is as it seems, but we're gonna have to wait. Oh god, like what, 6 months?
Not 6 months. I think it's...
What, 5?
Is it April or is it May?
Is it May? I could have swore it was like early summer.
They say 4.
They say 4?
It is
April?
Okay, damn. I'm good.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, nice.
That's good. That'll also probably be that might be a little bit sooner. They might have to move that up 2 weeks.
I'm okay with that. Give it to me. I need...
Yes, I mean, cliffhangers. We'll talk about it, okay? Let's scooch along.
Yes, we shall scooch along. But this next one comes from alias Zed, just Zed, Who says, records from the throw, Europa and a single YOLO roll. I'm getting lucky today. It doesn't bode well for my rolls next year. Silver lining to this is that she actually very cute, and I'm glad she came to my Chaldea. Actually, I don't think anyone's going to talk about it, but actually in our Let's Talk FGO channel, someone posted a Twitter thing about would you want to have, just packages in FGO where you can just like buy in like an SSR or an SR for like a certain amount of money and stuff. And some people were against it, saying it would like devalue the servants and whatnot if they were just readily available. And then I have to look at this guy who literally got YOLO! Got a YOLO in one roll, and it's like, that guy probably didn't spend any money and got that.
I mean, it's the same for tickets too, right? Like
Yeah.
you can't buy summon tickets, so that's all just random happenstance.
Yeah, so it's just
that was an interesting discussion. I scrolled up for that because I opened Discord. It was in the middle of loading. It was interesting. I think both sides had some points. We can maybe discuss it later in free talk, but we are in the mailbag right now, and nobody knows us about it. So
yeah,
at least I don't think anybody did.
Like lucky I weighed in heavily on it. Oh, they go on to say, comment, no question again, just reporting on my luck and sending you well wishes.
Send me your luck, motherfucker. I can't tell you when the last time I had a fucking YOLO roll work. I think it was Sigurd. That's like a year and a half ago. Also, spoiler, part of the reason why I didn't end up with a Scotty, because, oops, Dragon Man stole all my quartz. Trogdor! Alright. That's the Trogdor of moving on.
So, this next one comes from 253 Crew. Hey, are you in my area? This dear Seal of the Orcalcos Omega and Rama 1/2 enthusiast, Lucky. Yes, I am a Rama 1/2 enthusiast. In last week's episode, you said that the man for Bluebet was killed by an anti-spiral. What is an anti-spiral? Shout out to our boy Jason for showing us why he deserves to be in the throne of heroes.
Yeah, so sorry if that was just a reference. It's the Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. The enemies for the last arc are called the anti-spirals. They're weird negative space aliens because Gynax and now Trigger loves to do that. But they look just like that weird enemy in the end of that bit does. Like, they're just silhouettes with, like, vague, glowing, weird, sketchy eyes and mouths. And that's all it was just we commented on how the visual style was similar. I mean, people might be too young to get Gurren Lagann. They could also have done the whole it's too overhyped thing, you know?
I mean, Gurren Lagann, check this out, came out in 2007. That's over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
That's almost 15 years ago. Jesus.
Yeah. Like, people may literally be too young to get it. But you should watch it. It is a very important part of anime history. It's a very important stepping stone where Gynax, like, steps out of Evangelion to do, like, new different things and then explodes and becomes Trigger.
Oh, yeah, Sora Hero Days is the best. But,
we've only got a few left. We can muscle through this.
We can muscle through this. Mina no Peace, though, the second ED has always been my favorite jam. Always been my favorite jam.
Also, the OST itself is fucking amazing.
Oh, it is. It is. So, we shall move on. Thank you very much. This next one comes from Moon is at the Moon is at the final stretch. The battle between her and the final semester exam is about to commence. Will she emerge victorious and get closer to graduation? Well, to be continued. They say, hey there, guys. No question this time because my brain can barely spare any brain cells at the moment for obvious reasons. But I wish you both a great weekend when you read this. Well, thank you very much, Moon. I hope your tests go well. Please do not burn out.
Ganbatte, you can do this.
Ganbatte.
Never give up. Listen to that one video of that Japanese fisherman telling you not to give up. It will make you feel like you shouldn't give up. I also think, does that have TT Chill music in it? It might. It's fucking old enough. It was filmed on a postage stamp. Never give up. Love that guy.
All right, we move on. So thank you very much. This next one comes from Argonauts Assemble. You have an extra line break in here. I don't know why. And you also have an extra comma here because it threw me off immediately. How would you rework damage over time so that they would at least be near meta viable levels? I feel like Dot is not that viable and enemies can kill you if you give them one more turn to attack you. That's why it's most meta to kill them as quick as possible.
No, it's most meta to kill them as quick as possible because people are fucking lazy and they've got a lot of farming to do. But yeah, the grammar in this build-up's pretty bad. But basically what this person is asking us is how would you rework Dot to be more meta? I mean, I think they've done a decent amount for it. Like a lot of key servants who revolve around damage over time strategies have those like special damage amps which double all Dot on the enemy. So the idea is to get all your Dot servants together and then just go ham.
I mean, it's just like any other thing. I think you need to make like specific comps.
Mhm.
But real talk, you're never like in any RPG. When have you been able to use poison or something to actually kill a boss?
Yeah, it's usually a cherry tapping thing.
Yeah,
Which is a fighting game term, but applies. It's like you usually use it for style. I think there's some benefit to it in the age of like break bars and stuff, right?
yeah.
Like, because they take the damage at the end of their turn, so you can, like, cycle through some extra damage overall. But I think the general design philosophy is just keep making comps, which they've been doing. They've been releasing units who, like, amp poison, amp curse, amp burn, and just make sure more servants have access to those, and more servants have access to, like, stacking decent amounts of damage. Like, that is a thing. A lot of dot damage in the early servants was very low, because literally damage numbers were smaller back then, right?
How do I mark this image as a spoiler? Because I want to post this. Ah, there we go.
Yeah, there's a button for that.
There we go. But I wanted to post that because I saw this and I'm like, I love the writing in this game.
But like it is not usually a mainline strat, and if it is, you kind of had to go whole hog. I think somebody's raised a good point. Like, you got to be careful about, like, it would have to be kept to either servants who are not popular as enemies, or is locked behind rank ups, which most NPCs don't use, because the damage values for players and enemies are very different, right?
Right.
So you could easily run into problems where you take shitloads of damage. So
listen, unless you have a defense-oriented servant, any enemy who spends basically their whole turn hitting one enemy will just kill your servant, no matter what.
Yeah, unless you've got, like, defensive things in your favor, which can just be class disadvantage, right? But still, it's rough. You also gotta, like, watch out for, like, a lot of other factors in that. But for instance, if you don't have access to, like, class advantage and big HP pools, AoE NP will kill you. If you don't have access to a hard defense, a single target NP will kill you all the time, unless you are, like, super mega monster HP'd, right?
Yeah.
Like, just STNPs do so much fucking damage that you will die. Yang is the multiplier for burn. I believe both Domon and Van Gogh do a lot with curse. There's a lot of servants who are doing stuff with curse lately. Shuten kind of did some stuff with poison. I think we still probably need some more poison servants to, like, maybe make that viable, but there's a lot of... Yeah, well, Robyn's always been really good at poison, but that's because he's got some very, very funny damage amp stuff. I think, though, that is the other solution if you want to make it meta, is make NPs key off actually having that dot already, which I believe Yang does. Robyn does, but, like, also, basically, that's that one special attack up buff that Gajuna has, right? Where it's against debuff. Like, basically, make it so that you poison enemies, and you increase the amount of poison you have, and you do more damage to poisoned enemies. As a result, so you can actually, like, when you need to chew through big HP bars rapidly, if you have your setup correctly, you can, like, NP and kick it out, and then leave your dot to, like, try and finish them off or something if it doesn't work, you know? But I think it's in a decent place.
Yeah. So with that, though, I think we shall move on. So thank you very much for that. This next one comes from King of Apple, who needs to stop rolling on 5-star ST Archer because has too many as is. Question: by the time we finish Cosmos and the Lostbelt, do you think we have met all the beasts, or will we have just never met Beast 5 or something silly like that? Bonus: tell me what is grammatically wrong with the sentence above. Well, your alias is missing a pronoun, and let's see here.
I mean, I think you could technically do a comma after or before or something like that, but I don't really care about your grammar.
Yeah, I know.
As for the question, I mean, I suspect we'll probably have seen them, but we might not, because there is some, like, history with, like, number 6, Beast of Revelation, all that with, like, other franchises, so it's possible we could, like, skip some of the stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like, Nasu probably would not be afraid of putting a beast in, like, some other of his works and leaving it.
Yeah.
And leaving it.
And it would have, like, it would literally have a throwaway line like, hey, isn't this beast, 6 part 2? What happened to the other 5.5 beasts? And then we just turn to the camera for a moment, and then we turn back, you know?
Like, again, like, I don't know if Nasu has, like, this giant conspiracy board of plot coupons, or is he making this up as he goes? I really don't.
Who knows?
He's like, he could have just literally been like, oh, what's a good number? 7. 7's fucking, rad as hell. 7.
7 is a
all right
powerful number. Yeah, I think we just have 3 left.
Oh,
Am I counting correctly?
yeah.
I
We have a
think
lot of beast candidates, though.
It's true. No, I wasn't talking about Beast Path, but I was talking about questions.
Oh, questions. Actually, well, the answer is still the same, because, we know what's up to Beast 4 is. We've seen, I should say.
Yes.
In FGO.
We have seen which one was originally Beast 4. That's not to say that somebody else couldn't have the mantle of Beast 4, but no, he's hunting 6. Somebody else is Proto-Arthur hunting 7. No, 6, actually, Beast of Revelation.
Yeah.
And 6 is also split into 2 halves. We have encountered, explicitly so far, 1 through 4 with foe, like Lucky said, and the 2 halves. And anything further than that, and other candidates, is probably spoilers.
Probably. So with that, we move on. The next one comes from a recent Mobius simp. Not a Mobius strip. Hey. Greetings, Lucky and Omega. I just want to wish you both a happy holidays and good luck on the GSSR. Guys, you do know we have like several weeks before the GSSR.
Yeah, guys. You want to burn up all your well wishes now? What are you going to say next week?
Honestly, we're gonna... Oh, yeah. Oh, well, are we having a show on New Year's Eve? No?
No,
That's right.
I've talked that out. Yeah, that's busy with family that weekend.
Yeah, so we won't be having a show then. Actually, are we going to be having a show on Christmas Eve?
That I can do. I don't have any plans for Christmas Eve over here.
Yeah, I was actually looking at it. It's all like, yeah, 2 shows left in the year. Well, I guess it's like people sending out Christmas cards early, I suppose.
I guess. Whatever works, folks.
Whatever works.
Anyway, yes, thank you for your good vibes and well wishes.
I send them right back to you. Who wants a Terror Rabbit Christmas card? Let me know. But, moving on, this next one comes from Agent 418, who says, hello, Lucky Omega. With both NA and JP having a quick Christian, is the conspiracy confirmed? Oh, people actually do want a fucking Terror Rabbit Christmas card. What the fuck, guys? P.S. Have a great day. No, you have a great day.
Of course they do.
I don't know what conspiracy. We're talking about the Scotty conspiracy? I don't know. Right? Craster Martha's a support caster, ain't she?
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to move on. This next one comes from, the last one I should say, comes from the Eternal Storm, who says, no question today, wish me luck as I work on my degree. Good luck on that degree.
Yep, a lot of people having that big boy finals time. I know how it is. Gotta get your last gasp out in the way, and then you're done. So, good luck with that. But alright, that was mailbag. How close are we on the timer there, Lucky?
We have 13 minutes left.
Damn. I kind of figured it would be like that when those last, like, 3-ish were mostly okay. Like, they were pretty quick. A couple of them are just well wishes. But alright, the mission clock is at about an hour and a half, just under.
Mm-hmm.
Hour 26:52, just then. So let's pause down, take a brief intermission, and when we come back, we're going to dive into Free Talk.
Alrighty.
And we're back. This is the zone of being back. The back zone.
You beat me to it.
So, let's kick this off since we had that conversation about casters with New Servant Deets. Cooking Martha edition. I swear to God, I think this is the joke they're making. Hey, so, Santa Martha is a caster who is a welfare. She has a non-damage NP, which we'll talk about later. So, shockingly, she has really, really low attack and really, really high HP. She almost has as much HP as Murasaki Shikabu, which puts her at the top of 4-star casters in terms of HP. And she's like second to worst, if only because for some reason, despite the fact that they're story locked and really hard to get, Medea, Lily, and Edison are super fucked on their attack stat. Oh my god. It is atrocious. Anyway. So, Santa Martha here has a QQAAB deck. That's right, we have another caster that has 2 quick cards in here. Decent hit counts and generation stats. And so we begin with our first weird thing. She has a quick NP, which is non-damaging. So this gives 20% attack for 3 turns, 30 to 50%, so 50%. She's a welfare. Damage up to Demon Diviner Undead enemies for 3 turns. Gains 20 stars and heals the party based on overcharge. It starts at like 2k, I think. Goes to 3k at maximum overcharge. So already, you see some interesting things there. That's something we don't usually do anymore. Delightworks has honestly gone out of their way to give servants with non-damage NPs arts, even when maybe they shouldn't. In fact, talking about Scotty stuff, some people have argued Scotty should actually have a quick card has her NP card so you can do chains more, but they didn't, so here we are. So that's already pretty interesting. Second of all, though, this is a pretty good buff. That's 50% trait damage for 3 turns on 3 different traits, though Demon is not demonic. I had to double-check that. That's actual enemies, which are like literal demons, not just demonic beasts and stuff. But still, 3 trait damages for 3 turns up, 50% flat, because it's based on the NP level, right? It's pretty good. Hold on, I have to close this GIF. It's distracting me every single time. But yeah, so that's pretty decent. 20 stars, and it's a healing NP. We don't get those very often. It feels a lot like what the design philosophy they were going for here is, hey, guys, we're sorry. We're never bringing back Welfare Irie. Here's a new Welfare Healer. So our first skill is basically like a baby hero creation. It gives 1 ally 20 to 30% attack up for 3 turns, 1k to 2k max HP for that same amount, and a 20% battery flat. Pretty decent. Second skill is an AoE NP seal and 10 to 20% defense down for 3 turns on all enemies. That's also pretty good. I believe it's translated as Big Sister's Meddling. Love that. And then our final skill is a targetable one. It gives an ally star absorb up by a lot. I think it's for 1 turn. Gains you 10 critical stars and also is a self-battery for Martha only for 20 to 30%. So she has ways to get extra NP juice out. She can charge allies, give them attack ups, max HP ups, NP seal all enemies for problems, generate stars a lot. Passives are territory creation B, item creation D, so those debuffs will stick slightly more likely. And then writing EX still. So those quick cards slap. So yeah, I'm not going to say her kit is bad. It's very nice for a support welfare, which is something we do not get a lot. She does a lot of things. Offense up, trait damage, healing, max HP. Has NP seals, like no hard defenses, but, NP seal buys you a turn anyway, for the most part. So all in all, a pretty solid kit. I just want to say, I don't think she's doing anything really new. Her art design seems kind of simple. It's just Martha in a like a Santa hat. She's very smiley. It's nice, very shiny. I'm just wondering if maybe this was a pre-existing concept they had that they finally found a home for. Because it does really seem like, I don't want to say this in a bad way, but it does feel like Delightworks is being a little lower effort with Christmas this year, right? No new SSR, Lotto.
Rushed.
What was it, Lucky?
I would use the term rushed, maybe.
Yeah, maybe rushed. Like they have a lot of stuff to get out this year, right? Mm-hmm. New Halloween, new Gouda Gouda, story release. They've had a really big, fucking long story release as well in over the year and a new summer. So they've been busy, So like I said, I just wonder if maybe they had this one sitting on the shelf. Maybe the artist drew this alt art and they were like, "Fuck it, we'll do it." I kind of wish they'd busted out, maybe giving us some of the stuff they did for Arcade in that case. But hey, whatever works. Speaking of long discussions on our Discord, I got into a little bit of discussion earlier this afternoon before I had to stop so I could write more pregame. Talking about when servants get designed, and somebody was wondering if they put all the ideas for holiday servants in a box, and I'm like, nah, that was 6 years ago. They definitely don't do it that way.
No, I remember they usually start working on events I think was it a year?
Yeah,
up to a year in advance, and the designs are 6 months in advance.
Yeah, servants have around a 6-month turnaround time from inception to final release. Now, I'm not going to say that some ideas aren't because like I said, a lot of these alternates are not planned originally. They come out when artists do stuff. We've talked about this at length, but reread interviews about a lot of this stuff and you'll find out a lot of FGO's design work actually comes out during this early concept phase. But specifically for Christmas servants, there have been so many Christmases that just don't work as a pre-setup, right?
Right.
We have waxed poetically about Altera Santa and Christmas in the Underworld. You don't have Christmas in the Underworld until Babylonia is written with Aresh as a character. Hey, guess what? Nasu didn't know Aresh was going to be a character when he wrote the bullet points for Babylonia. Mm-hmm. They only developed Aresh as the character she is now when the artist turned in multiple concepts for Ishtar Rin, and one of them was blonde and kind of more goth. And Nasu was like, okay, that's not the design we're going to use for Ishtar, but what if? So that kind of stuff, doesn't work that far in advance. I haven't read anything about the plot of last year's Christmas at all. The one with, Vishra and Karna. Other than that, Karna has to go on yet another Santa journey. It's a very common format. So I don't know if that's like as cookie cutter as this. It might be. We'll see. Santa Karna seems pretty cool, and I think he had some pretty modern game design stuff going on. But also, Paco churns out art like a madman, so you really don't know. But yeah, it's an interesting build. It'll be good for those people who still don't have a Medea Lily because she's story-locked forever. And, if, like I said, if you missed Irie, that's not coming back anytime soon unless they start, busting out old welfares in FP Gacha or something. Which I think would be great, but yeah, unlikely at this. At least unlikely to happen fast. It would be like a thing at like next anniversary. They'd be like, and look at this, all these welfares in the FP Gacha. Woo!
Woo!
It's like new servants if you haven't been playing since launch day.
Kinda, yeah.
So this Christmas is interesting. I will be interested to see if anything weird happens or it really goes any places or if it is really that chill. Like, it literally seems like you're farming to beat up guys to do your Christmas cooking. Martha just decided she's gonna cook for a Christmas party. I don't know. We've got a Scotty storekeep. Shrug. I mean, personally, I kind of wish Santa Martha had a debuff clear, but fucking 50% damage up on Demon, Divine, or Undead. It's crazy. You can do a lot of dumb stuff with that. Never mind, she's got like a 50% max attack up on an ally if you like do the chains and skills correctly. But speaking of Christmas lottos, and possibly making a lot of sense, it's time for a Christmas Carol pregame. I'd love to have like sleigh bell ringing effects, but I'm sure the audio balance would be super fucked up.
Probably, yeah.
So just imagine your own sleigh bells. Get them from your sleigh that you own in the snow. I say, as it's apparently 67 degrees outside still. You add your own sound effects. All right, so it's time for a Lotto Christmas event with time gates. Are you ready for time gates, everybody?
No one's ready for time gates.
No, not especially Christmas-style time gates. Well, I mean, you are a little ready because you know that you're not going anywhere after you finish that main quest. But still, if you don't know how the Lotto works, basically, you farm a special currency, you spend it to open boxes. Boxes give you random rewards from a list per box. When you get the grand prize, you can reset a box. After you get all the grand prizes, of which there are 10, you can only reset by getting all 300 items in the box. It's a box of mystery, so it's not very mysterious. So you're looking at only 8 main quests, prologue, 6 chapters, epilogue. By the way, for some reason, Google Docs was like, hey, because this document is sent to American English, you should cut off the UE. And I'm like, what the fuck? I gotta call Webster. Did we cut the E off prologue and epilogue? Is that a thing we do over here? Are we cretins? Anyway, completing the main quest will give you a whole 4 Saint Quartz. You could do a YOLO pull.
Yay.
I almost wish they didn't even fucking bother with Saint Quartz for some of these smaller events. Damn, dude. You will get a Grail, though. You'll get your temporary Nightingale, and you will get a free copy of the 3-star CE. Now, for main story quests, these enemies are pretty tame. At most, you're looking at about 150k HP. Their classes should be clearly marked. There's some story buffs for the later half. One of them, you have to solo fight as just Saberstolf, but otherwise, they should be pretty easy. Do watch out a little bit. The very last boss, the final story quest, has a buff to ignore defensive class advantage, and also charges NP immediately when you break their bar. Other than that, it's good hunting. Speaking of 150k HP, free quests are literally all monoclass and cap out at 150k HP for boss waves. The best node is the Lancer node, so prepare accordingly. But there is also a special wrinkle. Santa Battle Royale quests are unlocked with global box opens. That's right, these quests open when the server has hit so many boxes opened.
Interesting.
The first one is like 300-something K, and the maximum is at like 2 million.
Jesus.
Don't worry, guys. We'll hit it. It'll happen. So these are special boss quests for materials. They give you 5 of material. So 24 hours? Great. Yeah. Basically, these are the kind of quests where you do them, you get like mana prisms and statues as drops. When you complete them, you get 5 of a mat. It starts with stakes and ends with egg. Now, there's 7 in total. The first 6 are pretty basic. The only weird one is the last one. It is a double ruler fight, Martha and Estrella, in a tag team match. They both have break bars, and they self-buff when you break them. But you will do this one because that is the egg one, and I know you want those 5 eggs. You're done punching Nagarajas. You want those fucking eggs. There is a single challenge quest for a lore. It didn't look too bullshit. You just have to fight some of them Kids Kingdom kids, like, Janta, Bunyan, Jack, stuff like that. Now, of course, guys, what is in our precious Lotto? What is the sweet wine victory we shall be tasting this night for conquering all those dumb, stupid boxes and farming that quest over and over again? Well, grand prize 1 through 5 is Nightingale's Ascension item and then her exchange ticket. You can only use this when main quests are clear, pretty typical for Christmas Lottos, to get her permanently. Grand prize number 6 is a lore, and grand prizes 7 through 10 are gold foes. After that, it is unlimited, baby. Non-grand prizes include skill cookies, apples, EXPs, MPs, QP, ghost lanterns, fangs, pages, crystals, and a special currency. And also, this is the first time we see this particular mechanic, a Christmas mat ticket. So this is a special mat ticket, just like your login ticket, that is sent to you when you get it out of the Lotto box, and should be able to exchange for talons, feathers, or giant rings. So basically, every box you clear gets you a little bit extra mats. It's pretty rad. I like the system. I think they do this more for Lottos, the mat tickets.
Okay.
So it's pretty decent. And as you heard from my special emphasis into my microphone, yeah, there's some pretty important shit in Lottos. I, for one, am gonna go ham for them cookies. Like I said, I'm gonna play strategy games and just leave my phone propped up. So I'm gonna be good. The store special currency you get, which is it's literally like first aid kit of hope or something. Yeah, guys, I hope you're ready for these jokes. Like, the currency is all medicine. You spend little red band-aids to unlock the Lotto. It's a whole thing. Anyway, the special currency is how you get your extra NP copies for Nightingale, your unlockers, and also your spares you can be exchanged for 500,000 QP a pop. I believe there are 4 of these things in every Lotto box, so there's another 2 million right there once you got all your NP copies. You know you want to. Now, for your regular currency in the shop, you have access to all 3 command codes, 4 copies of the Drop CE, because fuck you, I guess. Sabercaster Berserker statues, foes, proofs, spinal fluids, homunculi babies, seeds, medals, scales, horns, divine wine, lamps, and more egg. So, even more eggs. It's like they realized that, you'd want some eggs for some fucking reason. No joy on comet shards, obviously, but, we're working through them. Eggs are in here. Now, to make all this go faster, there are, of course, bonus servants. I'd throw some confetti if I could. Put in a stock kazoo noise. So, I brought this up earlier when talking about how high-speed low drag this is. This is a little funny. So, Saber Astolfo and both Nightingales, that's the Archer version and the old Berserker version, get plus 100% damage and plus 50% bond. Keep in mind that Astolfo is a single target unit, and Nightingale Berserker has a non-damaging NP. That's a great Delightworks. Great choice. However, Ash, all previous 4 Santas and Nursery Rhyme get plus 50% damage and plus 20% bond, so you'll probably be doing a lot of welfare farming that way. And Caesar, Jason, Artemis, Emiya, Robin Hood, Paris, Bradamante, Hozoin, Gareth, Astolfo, regular Astolfo that is, Boudica, Bart, Chengong, Hans, Jack, Kotaro, Corday, Vlad, Kentoki, that's Zerker Vlad, by the way, in case you couldn't tell from the order I read these names out, Atlante Alter, Darius Age 3, Salome, Amakusa, and Jolter get plus 30% damage and 20% bond. That's right, not only did they put all the new bronzes as bonus servants on this and incentive for you to use them, they also gave you a fucking event damage bonus on Jolter.
That's oof.
So, whoops, bosses. Oops. Also, they gave fucking Chen Gong a damage bonus. Oh my god, that's like making a Rash a bonus servant. Fuck, dude. So, yeah, the Delayworks knows what they're doing with some of this stuff, so there's going to be some dumb things people are going to jam together. I also, by the way, really appreciate that they threw in the new bronzes like this, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, everybody, got a reason to throw them up there on your list. Got some fun to check out there. Mash also gets plus 30% damage, and as usual, she gives everybody 5% bond up. Now, the Summon Banyar, when it comes out, should be Astolfo Saber, who is new. I will attempt to get you a wanted on that prompto. You will also be getting, on rotation, Nightingale, Hot Wheels, and Rhyme, and Caesar, Darius, and Boudica will be available at all times. So I actually might want to spend some tickets and stuff on those Nightingale days, because I still don't have a regular Nightingale. And really, that should be it. This seems like a nice, relaxing Lotto after Lostbelt 5.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's just straightforward. The main story quests aren't hard. I mean, they know that it's Fuki Clear only, so it's, for everybody. They've got interesting damage bonuses, incentive to use new servants. It seems fun. And, skill cookies. I'm out of juice from the last Lotto we did with skill cookies. I need more. Need more cookie. Do it all for the cookie.
Okay.
Deep breaths, everybody. At an hour and 46 minutes. At a humble hour and 3/4. It's time for the full spoiler Lostbelt 5 Part 1 Deep Dive-y-do. Deep Dive. Didgeridoo. Are you ready to go so deep you go inside the center of the earth? I feel like we're mixing up our Jules Verne's here. Anyway.
A little bit.
This is our full spoilers, no breaks, Nemo doesn't believe in breaks moment. So this is your final last warning before we spoil fucking everything.
We're going to spoil everything. We're starting from section 12, where we left off, and going all the way to the end.
At the very least, we have jotted down names of all the segments. So and some notes on most of them. So we should be able to keep our pace pretty fast.
Like I said, next time we do this, I'm definitely going to be more on top of writing my notes down as I go.
We probably should, especially with it being Olympus. We should probably do that. That's going to be another humdinger of an episode. So, Lucky, you wrote most of these notes. Do you want to take the lead here?
I will take the lead here. Like I said, I can say it with my nuance. Mm-hmm. So, we're going to start right off. Section 12, 3 battles on Estrella Island. Jeez, I wonder what happens. So, okay, WHODIME is horrifying, but enough of that. We need to get to Thetis Island. There's someone to pick up. Hey, look, there's another island. Is it important? No, let's pass it. Only we're in a Greek hero story, so you ain't allowed to do that.
Correct.
So basically, we show up, or like Jason's later like, what is that island? Ah, fuck it. But, a mysterious shadow shows up and be like, excuse you, you cannot pass me. And if you don't, I'll sink your fucking boat. So Jason's just like, oh, fine. So you basically go up to the statue, and it's Estrella. Everyone fucking knows it's Estrella. Because Estrella was trying to be all like, no, it's not. It's like, I'm a stranger or whatever. Everyone's like, it's fucking Estrella. I can't remember what she said exactly, but... Oh, yeah, come to Estrella Island, and everyone's just like, it's fucking Estrella, then.
Yeah.
But this GIF is distracting. I just popped back over to the Patreon chat.
Yeah.
I'm gonna scroll up slightly. So you get there, and it turns out there's a lot of fucking Estrella statues on this, and they go talking about this soon, but first, goddammit, Jason, don't deface a statue of a goddess and then blame me for it. I will remember this.
Correct.
Estrella shows up, talks about how cool she is, how neutral she is.
We should throw out there, if you're like speed reading the story, Lucky's not kidding. The statues are everywhere in the backdrop. Like, they have special background redraws for more statues.
Estrella goes on to say that it was a mysterious serpent who was hanging out for here a while and made her statues as thanks. And then they go into a little conversation about, perfect bodies, bodybuilding, all that stuff. And they like to make and a couple of people make the comment of how Estrella is totally being influenced by her vessel, but at the same time, it hasn't changed much, which is always interesting to see, of how different but the same they are. It's a little bit of a thing to wrap my head around at times. Of like, it's like they are the person, but they aren't the person. It's weird.
Yeah. And I think it depends on the instances. Like, in Case Files collab, when Estrella was introduced, that was like a lot Luvia, right? Most of the time. But also a lot Estrella some of the time. This is definitely way more Estrella to the front. Only little hints of Luvia. Like, she speaks as Estrella most of the time.
Yeah. So, we have some banter back and forth. Estrella's being like, I'm so fucking neutral, I can't help you. And this is one of the things that I find hilarious is, she basically says, and you just like, oh, okay, I'm glad we have to find. She's like, oh my god, fine, I guess I'll answer some questions if you clear some trials. I'm all like, aren't you a bit of a sucker? So, you do something a little bit interesting here. You do 3 fights, and they're not all, they're basically, story fights. You mostly use, the story characters for it. And it's a little interesting, it's a little tedious, because... you don't necessarily have your class advantages lining up, but...
Yeah, the one with Chiome is a little mean-spirited.
But it's also funny because they actually call that out after. It was like, oh man, that was harder than I thought it'd be. And I was like, yeah, no, it's great. But I enjoyed them finally. And you answer some questions, you learn some information. I won't necessarily exposit fully on it, but you learn some things. They're not good things. Oh no.
Yeah.
But your last question is you ask who was the strategy servant? And it's like, it was one Muramasa. And there was a Rasputin there, and everyone's all like, audible gasp.
Yep.
And so we move on into our next section, Recollection on Disciples of the Foreign Star. So yes, Muramasa has been summoned here as a disciple of the foreign god. He's on the Lostbelt side. And honestly,
by
he's
the
not
way, as an alter ego.
as an alter ego. And guess what? He's not that fussed about the details. He has a job, and he's going to do it.
A very Muramasa type thing to do.
Yep. So he's been hanging around with Rasputin, a.k.a. Father Kotomine, and apparently they get along okay. It's a little weird. I don't like it.
They get along in the way that, like, they totally understand that they feel like they're 5 minutes away from a fight at every given second, but also they can just have some beers.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's also especially weird because I don't know if this Kotomine they dug up understands who Shiro is, but speaking of pseudos, Kotomine is way more Kotomine than Rasputin, whereas Muramasa is way more Muramasa than Shiro.
Yeah.
Mostly I think Shiro's just there for access to projection and unlimited blade works.
Well, like I said, that's the thing about pseudo servants. It's not necessarily who they are. It's like if their essence is kind of the same.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and we even talked that in a question. Muramasa speculates why he's paired up with this body because he feels like him and Shiro were maybe didn't accomplish what their goals were in life. Muramasa was looking for the perfect sword. And Shiro is Shiro.
Was looking to be the perfect hero. But, so we feel a little depressed about this. We feel depressed about other things. Time for a solid straight up pep talk. Sharice is like, don't worry about fucking winning or losing. You don't have a fucking choice. Just fucking do it.
Yeah, you have to survive. An ongoing Lost Belt theme. By the way, start the drinking game now. Take a shot every time Lucky talks about a pep talk. Because it happens a lot. We could also call this chapter Get By With a Little Help from My Friends.
True. But suddenly we're gonna switch perspective, and it's Paris and Achilles. We're gonna have a solo Achilles fight as he punches some mobs, and now we're gonna have what has to be an awkward meeting, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on one second. Oh, carbonation. Why'd you do that to me? So, like I said, we have Paris of Troy along with co-host Apollo the Sheep.
Yeah.
And Apollo the Sheep has no shame in saying that a Paris' form is solely because Apollo thinks it is, quote unquote, prime cuteness.
Mm-hmm.
So with that,
guys,
I'm putting Apollo.
I would like you, if you've ever had any questions about why Asclepius is the way he is, they're answered right here. That sheep is his dad, guys. Dad sheep. Sheep dad. Commits
Chad?
This mission. Anyway, yeah, Paris is here, and as is often with mascot characters, we get right along Apollo, which is just full of gold. I especially love that they do the usual thing where, like, the story sprite lights up when they're speaking, so the sheep lights up, like, comes to the fore.
Damn it, my throat's getting weird now. So I'm putting Apollo under the category of shady but entertaining sheep. If I had a nickel every time FGO gave me a shady but funny sheep, I'd have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's still strange considering it happened twice.
Yep.
But they talk. Paris is not over Achilles killing Hector, but Achilles is totally over Paris killing him. It's a little weird thing. It's a little bit of a weird thing.
I mean, I think it makes sense.
Well, it makes sense, but
Achilles explains it later. In the actual myth, Achilles is straight up told, yo, if you go to this war, you will die young but a hero. And he is like, I will go then. Because they need me. I think specifically there was layers of prophecy. Basically, Achilles' dad was told if he goes to the Trojan War, he's going to die young. But Odysseus and the rest of the Achaeans were told, hey, if you don't get this guy Achilles, you're going to fucking lose.
I mean, it's true. Hector did almost just be like, defensively, no.
Yeah. So, I can understand why the Trojans would be more upset about Hector's situation, whereas Achilles is just like, no, I get it. I was the guy. Gotta get
It's always
me.
the weird thing about FGO. In FGO, Hector really isn't that, like, super high up. He's just a cool old man. He's just like, I'm too old for this shit. But he's a man who literally, if Achilles, one of the three greats of the matter of Greek, did not show up, he would have kicked their ass.
Yeah, he is a hero on par with Achilles. Literally, they did a stalemate. It was only when Achilles went berserker, basically, that they because Hector's love of his homeland was not enough to defeat Hector's man love for Patroclus. Also, Achilles was still immortal then.
Yeah. So again, it's one of those things like Hector doesn't get a lot of love in FGO despite, actually being a big fucking deal, I guess. I think there was a question about that some time ago.
Yeah.
Well, if you were listening, there's your answer. I wish Hector was a little bit more important.
Yeah.
So, but they talk it out and they agree to, disagree and they shake on it. So more Greek heroes get to. But because some shit has happened, Achilles has already been shot through the fucking heel, so he's super fucking weak, and he lost his shield somewhere.
Yeah, they don't talk about this. If you want my headcanon, I bet he used the shield to tank an Artemis shot.
Probably.
Artemis can destroy an entire planet. Well, Achilles' shield contains a planet. We've seen it used this way. That, or he loaned it to somebody for something, because that's also a thing Achilles can do.
Maybe he'll come back in Olympus. Maybe someone has his shield.
Could be. I don't know. That would make sense if one of those guys got ahead of him.
Yep. So plans got to change. Now we got to make, because he doesn't have both his armaments and he's injured, he can't do it. So Orion's got to have to take the shot. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn his armor into a bow and arrow. Sweet. So we're going to do some more bonding. Mandracardo and Paris are going to gush about how awesome Hector is, and it's cute. It's a meeting of fanboys. I'm all like, yes, this is good. This is good Civ. But we come back to this. Mash has some questions about, doing something if you want to know how to die. So let's talk about death for a bit. And Achilles is just all like, hey, I did something important and I did something cool. So you know what? Better a cool death than a bad one. It's like, sometimes it's your time to go. Like, don't worry, Master. I will die as hard as I need to. And you're like, please don't. But in the midst of all this, incoming data download. It's time to go to Purse Island. So This is when we move on to Second 14. Suffering and pleasure are life's medicine for relief.
There's a lot of interesting names. Though, also writing these notes, I'm like, man, some of these names get repetitive.
Yeah. So, if you guys have been paying attention, you've noticed that your master has been doing something a little weird, as in just randomly throwing out heals for no particular reason.
I've used healing mystic codes a fucking lot, but yes, this is
well, here's specifically after the battle. This is actually talked upon. Because after Achilles gets to strut his stuff on the ocean surface, you throw a random ass heal on him, and he's just all like, "Thanks." And it takes a bit out of you. It takes quite a bit out of you that you're like dizzy. You have to go sit down. And Mandracardo sees this and he's just all like, Talks to Da Vinci and goes, "You're gonna have. It's time for your realist real pep talk with your new friend Mandracardo."
Yo, we're friends
basically,
now.
We are now friends. He calls you out. You're feeling super weak because you saw WHODIME do all that sick shit, yo. And now you're not feeling as cool. But let me tell you, I actually do really love this. Let me tell you, all that awesome shit that WHODIME did is not actually that awesome. You took all that shit and you stood up. That's awesome. I'm like, yeah, I'm awesome. And I think it is true to an extent. Because
it also makes sense for Mandracardo as a character to say that, because he, by his own admission, is kind of a bit antagonist in another hero's cycle.
He is strong enough, just strong enough to be a good enough adversary for someone to walk over, basically.
But that brings us back to our comment about Hector, right? Like, Hector gets downplayed a lot, but he was also similarly, like, there's a lot of major guys that you don't remember because the poem is literally an epic and it's really fucking long, but, like, there's a lot there. Hey, did you know one of the allies of the Trojans was the General Sarpedon, who is one of Europa's sons by Zeus? Also, by the way, King Minos, big cunt. Kicked out both of his brothers from their home island. Luckily, one of their brothers got to be Heracles' cool stepdad. Ooh. Go watch Wanted. But yeah, so like there's some interesting parallels in the characters that make sense, and he gives you this really nice pep talk.
Yeah, like he basically jumps on his big. Basically, WHODIME's been awesome since birth. Like, everything comes easy to him. Everything, goes according to his plan. So, if he does things right, it's not actually fucking a big deal.
That I don't know how literal that is, considering some of the stuff he's done in the backdrop with, the incineration and telling the foreign god to like revive his friends and stuff. But for the most part, it's definitely, at least in the terms of the conversation we had, right? The like way back in section 12,
everything leading up to this, he
Yes.
was literally the Mages Association's like golden poster boy.
Yeah. And they make sure to talk him up in section 12. We talked about that earlier, like the ceiling designation, you know, how strong he is, founding a new department, right? We discussed a little bit of that stuff last week. But they go out of their way to, if you understand the backstory and the backdrop of the lore, which hopefully you do listening to our podcast because we talk about it a lot. WHODIME is a big fucking deal, but Mandricardo does have a very good point. Something that is paralleled a lot in Fate. Yeah, he's a big deal, but like you said, he's expected to be a big deal, whereas nobody expects you to do shit.
Mm-hmm.
And we're 5 lost belts deep, so
Yeah. So you activate the bromance card and you become best of friends, and Mandricardo is super great about it. I love it. God, I love this boy. I love this boy so much.
Mandricardo is great, except at small talk.
Except the small talk, yes. But you know, you're gonna have they said it's gonna take like what 2 days to get to the island. So guess what? You gotta crash. You wake up. Your next scene is fucking Black Bart telling like the ending of why he loves Hidden Eyes so much, and I'm just all like, what kind of fucking story was this? Because your two options are you're crying too much to speak, or I never knew that the story could be so sad. I was just like, what the fuck, Black Bart?
Yeah, big noodle incident.
But
I do
since
want to throw
everyone's
this out there in terms of like I think Black Bart gets better as we go along. They stop making the joke as we get deeper and deeper into the Lost Belt. But I think Mandricardo overall has a really interesting characterization because he is. This is for several characters, and they'll probably touch on some major themes we'll hit back later. But I think it's important to bring up now. Mandricardo is a really interesting character for Fate because he is all about how he's like, yeah, I'm a really shitty heroic spirit because I don't know how heroic I was. I don't really like. I think I was a king, but I don't remember what I did. Like. I did some stuff, as opposed to compare and contrast to Achilles, who several times, as he is proving himself to be the Greece's mightiest hero, is yelling about how he's Greece's mightiest hero, right? It's very different attitudes. So it's an interesting comparison.
It is. But from here, we start talking about hopes and dreams, and we're going to start talking about life goals and accomplishments and the meaning of life. Guess what? We need to give Charlotte Corday a pep talk because she's feeling super blue because, much like Mandricardo, she doesn't really feel like she's accomplished much in life. She stabbed a dude.
She accomplished more than Jin-K, technically.
Technically.
But Jin-K is like...
I don't know.
Way more famous for the attempt than
I was about to say, that was an attempt on the fucking Emperor.
Right.
Fucking Corday just killed like a dude.
I mean, he was an important day.
Yeah, but it was no emperor.
True. He was just Jean-Paul Marat. I mean, he was the leader of the Jacobin Club, which was like a major political like force. But yeah, it didn't do. The reason why she's so upset is because it didn't do what she wanted to do, which was she thought by stabbing this guy who was the leader, cut the head off the snake, right? Like,
right.
It would it would get them all to give up. No, it didn't really. If anything, it almost made it made the conflict even more bloody because the Jacobins were like, who are you working for? What conspiracy is this? Who's done this? I bet royalists are behind this. The French Revolution was wild, y'all.
And a little fucked up.
Very fucked up.
Yes.
By the way, also that thing about cutting the head off the snake. Remember that. That might be important. Anyway. There's a lot of parallels and themes in this Lost Belt.
So, we talk about this, we remember stuff. We have the most powerful flashback where we just think about all the people we have met and had to say goodbye to.
Yeah.
And, oh no, it seems like not as all as it seems with Corday. Gasp.
By the way, we do that a lot. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of, I made it a bullet point later when it comes up as a conversation piece, but there's a lot of, this story is ultimately about breaking through and moving on, but I think it has a very important message in it within you can't forget where you came from. Mm-hmm. Like, you have to get up and move on with your life and move through adversity, but you should not forget what it cost you to get here, basically. Deep themes.
Oh yeah, like, don't forget where you came from, but always be looking toward where you're going.
Second star on the right, straight until morning.
But so with that, though, we move on to section 15, an absent monster in the great labyrinth in the ruins. So I don't know if this was explicitly mentioned in LB1. I didn't have time to go check, but apparently this is where that Minotaur came from.
I believe it was suggested at some point, but I don't think they knew for sure until we got to this labyrinth and were like, hey, there's no Minotaur in it. I guess we were right.
Yeah. I think it was said by Rasputin.
Straight up
I believe it.
Yeah. I know we theorized that, but yes, I do. If Rasputin straight up said it, then yeah. Okay, confirmed.
So here's something interesting. Chioen hasn't really gotten a lot of characterization through events. Like, she was in Oniland, but she was very, very professional. She's like, yes, master, I will do the thing, master. I am your ninja. Here, maybe because she's not like directly our Chaldean version, she's a lot more loosey-goosey. Like, you gotta remember, her entrance was her literally popping out of the ground like a fucking daisy, hand first.
Yeah.
And she has been quite a bit of comic relief, and we get to see a little bit more of this, because she has always been a cute, but she's damn right adorable. Like, hey, let me go greet this man, just, screaming top of her lungs, hiya there, and it's just like, oh my god. Apparently also knows the murder massage, much to Jason's despair.
Yeah.
I passed on it.
She was supposed to be doing, a Reiki healing massage, but sounded more like, going to the chiropractor. Crick, crack.
Mm-hmm. Also, take note, Jason likes to sit down a lot and take a lot of naps.
Well, and he even phrases this sometimes as like, hey, my brain is my most important thing. It needs rest.
Nah, I think, I'll call back to this later. But, so we're going to meet more of the exiles and see their society and kind of realize how fucking weird they are, because they basically have no dreams or desires besides living their simple life and loving Olympus.
Yeah, we meet a new character. We meet not a young man, but an old man with a nanomachine arm. And he's straight up like, oh yes, we have ways to transfer data wirelessly. Haven't done this in centuries. And we're like, yo, that shit is whack. Why haven't you? Oh, well, because literally everybody I want to talk to is right here. Couldn't you talk to other islands? Yeah, but why would I want to do that? They're losers. What interest do I have in talking to other people if I don't see them every day? And it's like, what the fuck, old man? What is going on here? Like, it's almost like the reverse of the situation where we bamboozled Shinshi Wong with a phone. Like, these guys have magic Wi-Fi and they are not using it. And we are like, what the actual fuck?
It's like, well, again, they have no desires outside their fucking their little village life. It's like, everything I want is right here. I have food, shelter,
yeah, it's not
potential
like they don't
mates.
have to work for it, because obviously they have to scavenge their own food. They had to build up their shelter, but it definitely feels like they don't have any drive.
Yeah, it's they're in a cycle of stagnation, which is one of the big problems in the Lostbelt. Like, when the Lostbelt doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, and why this Lostbelt doesn't go anywhere?
Yep.
Because the gods preserve their legacy forever in the form of the Kilnome Krill. The nanomachine, son! Because they did that, this Lostbelt basically dead-ended, because they are always there, they are always working, and humanity can never be free from them, so... This is also another interesting thing. I think they allude that people used to try and assault Atlantis, but don't do anymore, so I don't know if in the Atlantis timeline, if they covered the globe, if Artemis shot everybody, but she might have.
I mean, I think there was definitely some sort of conflict.
Yes.
At some point.
And they talk about how the Atlantis border troops are pre-established. That was not something they just made up for us. That was part of a system that already existed. So,
I mean, too, well, again, remember, Plato. Atlantis had a super fucking navy that was super fucking super, except against Athens, because we're superer.
Yes. They totally tried to invade us, but we were cool and, more aesthetic, and they were fucking bougie. I mean, I actually think that this Atlantis takes elements from both, arguably the nanomachine Atlanteans are, way more stoic and ascetic and robotic than the Atlanteans, who were supposed to be a rich decadent empire, but also they have all the rich decadent empire trappings. It's a really interesting take, actually.
Yeah. So we have to go to the labyrinth. Yes. There is no monster there. The villagers didn't fucking know, because they don't go there. Why would they go there? We have no reason to go there. We don't want to kill the thing. It was put there by a god. You don't fuck with things we mess with gods. We just live our humble lives and hope one day God Senpai will notice us. Ooh woo. It's a little, ugh. It's a little weird to hear someone talk like that.
Yeah.
But we go
Excellent
into the
writing.
labyrinth. We lose communications like we did last time we did this.
Yeah. I think we've never not lost communications in a labyrinth.
If only I had my labyrinth map that Asterios gave me for Valentine's, because he's the bestest.
No, I think we left that back on the shadow border.
So, we fight some mobs and we get to the forge. But not before we have to pick a faction, because this is one of the fights that Omega was talking about, where you get to pick either Achilles or Orion, and you just 1v1 some mobs. And it's a little neat.
Yeah. It's an interesting concept. Like, there's, as far as I can tell, there's no real, like, stakes to it. It's just, like, Achilles and Orion start shit talking about who can kill more dudes, because, like, Orion's the greatest hunter, but he's also, just a hunter. Whereas Achilles is a mighty hero, but he's already had his heel shot out, so they're like, I bet they do the fucking, Lord of the Rings thing, Gimli and wow, I am Legolas. Yeah, I'm dying over here.
Still only counts
almost
as one.
11 tonight. Yeah, still only counts as one kind of a thing, I'll take the 300 on the left, They bromance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they they're Team Jock. And you say it was a little fun. They talk about things afterwards. Everyone decides that fucking Greek kings are kind of shitty.
Yeah. This is actually true, by the way. Like, heroes are cool, and some heroes are also kingly. Like Odysseus is the king of I forgot which island he's from. Ithaca. There it is. He's from the kingdom of Ithaca, the city-state. So, like, some kings are cool guys, but for the most part, Greek kings who are actually being kings sitting on a throne somewhere, they fucking suck. I wonder what the message is there, Greece.
So, from there, we're gonna move on to Section 16, Three-Headed Dog. We meet up with Hephaestus Brain, who's all like, you must prove yourself.
I need to know if you can shoot the bow.
So, basically, Orion has to fight against Orion. Well, excuse me, Super Orion has to fight against Orion. And I love the pack that all you can do is like, hey, that bear on top of the head is you. And he's just all like, what?
Man, this shit is weird.
But we get through that. There's a psychological assessment. We ask some questions. We ask some probing questions. And Hephaestus is like, good, yes, this will work. But stay tuned for messages from our sponsors. And we get another coded transmission. Honestly, I don't like these coded transmissions because they tell me almost nothing. They really do.
They basically are just like, Kentucky is like, yo, boss, I'm still alive. Hey, buddy, you doing fine? Anyway, go to the next island.
Yeah, that's all they do. I'm just like,
I guess we're maintaining OPSEC.
So, but they do tell us that we need to go to our next and final destination, Nemesis Island.
I mean, you guys don't... this data dump has a little bit more because they relate that they tell you that when they first got here, every motherfucker tried to shoot down Artemis, and it did not work.
I mean, that much would have been obvious.
Well, yeah, but, like, they explain why it doesn't work. Like, all projectiles were intercepted at a certain range, so she has, point defenses. The only place you can attack from is directly under her geosynchronous orbit, which is Nemesis Island. Very interesting, by the way. Nemesis, goddess of revenge.
How of Artemis. So, we have a doggo with Demeter Krill showing up. Is this ironic? Maybe a little. Like I said, remember, Demeter had huge beef with Hades. Huge beef.
Yes.
No matter what telling of Persephone you is, Demeter is just never happy. It will just kill the entire world over this.
Yes, the part of the myth is used to explain the cycle of seasons. So, yes, if you're wondering why winter exists, it's because Demeter mad.
Demeter mad. But this is something I did find interesting. They actually explained Hephaestus in a moment of wanting to exposit explains that Demeter was actually their supply trip, who basically was so good at managing supplies and logistics that she could take, 1,000 years worth of supply and make it last 4,000 years. And apparently her nanomachines are really good at self-healing.
Yeah.
So, you have a fight. Orion gets in that fight. He's a dog is a beast. You can fight it. But, oh no. Odysseus only believes in overkill and is going to blow the dog up.
This is a thematic point I'm going to bring back later in that essay I wrote. But yes, Odysseus is that guy. He is the, no witnesses, no chances, 100% success. So he decides to blow up the fucking dog. He sets the nanomachines to overkill and is going to blow up this dog.
I like how there is the Atlantean soldiers are like, are you sure we should be doing like this much overkill for just like 10 soldiers? And this is just like, yes.
There is no overkill. There is only open fire, and I need to reload.
So, shit's going bad. We still have like a half hour before the bow and weapon is away. We don't have enough time to escape. What the fuck do we do? Le Gaz! Corday actually had Zeus juice. Let's not use that term. Zeus nanomachines in her all along, and she's a Lostbelt servant. That whole opening scene with Odysseus summoning a servant, it was Corday.
In case you couldn't guess from the fact that she was the only French servant.
And they actually hearkened to that. Apparently the spilt blood of Dion and Sanson was the catalyst to summon her. Which is interesting because Sanson did actually execute Corday. And actually she thinks really, if I remember her materials right, she thinks really well of the guy. He does not, not because he dislikes her, it's just very awkward to be friends with someone you decapitated.
Yeah, no. Yeah, and I just put this in there because I love at this point, like nanomachines were MacGuffin-y, but at this point we get like full blown, because like before it was just like, well, if we just keep juicing up our servants with the god's legacy, they'll get stronger. But this is where like Corday even has a special sprite, her eye color changes, and this is why I wrote in the notes, nanomachine Zeus, like because she gets the one arm and it's like, all right, now she's having some fun.
Basically one shots the Kerberos and it's just all like, I am sorry. I was a sleeper agent all along. I must now die because, guys, Corday is not a divine spirit of any sort and cannot handle this much God in her. That is a very, very bad sounding thing I just said. God damn it.
Basically, they talked about this. The different nanomachines have different yields. So stuff like the Hephaestus or the Demeter can go in anybody, but stuff like Athena or Zeus is only acceptable to divine spirits. So she used up too much Zeus juice and is going to fucking explode. Her spirit origin can't handle it. She is a very mundane human.
Yeah. But, so, Corday is literally dying in our arms. Well, maybe not in our arms, but she's dying. We have to, like, slap her around a bit.
She's melting down.
She's melting down. And we're like, no, we have to save her. And a lot of people are like, no, she's just one weak servant. Why the fuck do we need to save her? And, I look everyone dead in the eye and be like, we're gonna fucking save her. And Hephaestus is like, hey, if you just put, like, some Hephaestus machines in her, and then get some Athena machines, we can make this all work out. And everyone's all like, no, we're gonna use that to power up the Shadow Board to make it really cool.
And then specifically they were like, oh, but the Athena, we want to give that to Orion. That'll make him super good. And then Orion's like, no thanks, fam, I'm cool. I can do the job. Foreshadow.
And so, like, you give the order, we're gonna make a detour to go get the Athena ones. And everyone's like, okay, here we go. But first, let's pick up our sick bow. It's sick. Has a design and everything. Suddenly, Artemis Beam.
Though, before this, I would like to point out, Hephaestus says, sorry, I only had time for 2 shots. You only have 2 arrows. Oh, shit.
But yeah, he mentions, Hephaestus is like, I'm being tracked. Tries to throw up defenses and stuff. But first, Apollo and Hephaestus have to trade barbs first.
Yep.
I
think somebody posted this in NA Spoiler recently. Hephaestus' line is something like, farewell, Apollo, for proper human history. You were good for just as little here as you were there.
I mean, Apollo wasn't firing back. It's like, no wonder your fucking wife cheated on you. Like, you can't stop thinking about work for 5 minutes. And Hephaestus is like, I don't even fucking care. Mating unit is the first thing I got rid of. And it's like, damn. I don't feel so bad for Aphrodite now.
He's like, don't you worry. Listen, I don't need nothing.
Listen, guys, everyone in relationships, take care of your partner. If you don't take care of their needs, they will find someone to take care of them somewhere else. And I bet Aphrodite had a lot of needs, Jesus. So, for that, though, you get into the civilian escape capsule. That was just a thing lying around, I guess.
He has an ejection pod.
And, get on out of there. But before the blinding goddess's light engulfs the island, Artemis has to go trade barbs with Hef as well, and Hef is just all like, yeah, I'm about to fucking die, but I died doing the right thing. Suck on it.
I mean, it's not really trade barbs, it's like Artemis just calls up, she has to call somebody. She's like, fucking alone up there. She has to dial Hephaestus and be like, broski, what are you doing? And he's like, I am doing the right thing. And then Artemis is like, you suck. Suck a butt. Die. And Hephaestus is like, very well then. Click.
No, Hephaestus was all like, I will die, but you are still alone.
Yes.
Bye.
He's like, yeah, I'm gonna die, but you're still stuck in space, bitch, so who's worse off? Bye! Can you tell these guys are all family? And
now, my notes are going to get a little weird here because this is the point basically where I left off and the Mega mostly took over. But Section 8...
No, Sage Soldier's Trap was the last one you really worked on.
Okay. Yeah, that's true.
Then after that, it's a lot more, it's just my speed notes. And then eventually we have no notes.
Then we have no notes. But... So, next one is Sage Soldier's Trap. This is actually split into A and B, but for intents and purposes, it's just one thing.
Yeah, I don't know why it's marked as A and B. Maybe because you start on the sea and then move on to the island? Like the nodes moves places?
Maybe. I'm not sure. I honestly not sure. So, the island exploded, but enough about that. Let's talk about the emulation of emotion. Basically talking about how it's really weird that these gods are robots, but the gods as we know them are humans, and, have kids. How does that even fucking work? Short answer, no one fucking knows. Whatever. Is it real enough? It's real enough.
And they do have some discussion about, like, talking about, like, Artemis and Orion and stuff, and, like, god terminals, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, as kind of a thing where they can kind of come to be, like, in forms that, are approachable to humans.
I mean,
but this does also probably explain how Zeus got a chick pregnant as a rain of golden light once.
Oh, he probably just showered her in nanomachines.
Yeah. Everything is nanomachines, son. Somebody's still trying to post the nanomachine son gif and they can't get it to work. Alternatively, it there it is. There's one. It's nanomachines. I ain't got to explain shit.
I mean, that is literally this.
Yes.
But
there's a lot of philosophical discussions about basically Nasu justifying how he can have giant spaceship gods and also the entire canon of the Greek mythology.
So after that, we're gonna go have a moment. We're gonna go look at Corday's sleeping form, and Da Vinci's gonna come in. She has to sit down. She's very tired, but she's gonna give you the pep talk. She's like, "No, you did right. You did the right thing. Don't feel bad. Don't listen to those other nerds. I'm on your side.
You saved a life.
You saved a life."
Dr. Da Vinci is always for that.
Mm-hmm. But the worst thing is Mass outs us for filching food. How dare? Listen, sometimes man's gotta eat. But again,
listen, Goldorf isn't gonna miss that stack of digestive biscuits or that toffee he's got back there. He's got like 5 of them. He's not gonna notice. I'm gonna go for a cookie.
Anyway,
the emergency bacon.
So Paris has many comedy bits as we get to Eris Island. Apparently, getting to a younger body has also given him a younger mind, as he is constantly trying to chase barbs with Achilles at any given point. We'll literally just jump into conversations and be like, "Nuh-uh," or we'll just get distracted looking at butterflies. It's quite adorable.
Yeah,
but you go in there, you get the Athena krill. And then you make it out, and let's get down, master! Yeah. Achilles literally Secret Service tackles you down.
Yeah, and I put this note in here as well. Lostbelt Chiron has 0 chill. You can tell why him and Odysseus are supposed to be buddies later. People I know really wasn't mad about it. This is why I say you gotta strengthen your weakest link, because you're only as strong as your weakest link. Well, no matter what Chiron plays to the rule that none of these guys would have experienced yet, right? Because all those previously summoned servants were counterforce servants.
Yeah.
Who don't rely on a master. And technically some of these guys don't rely on us for their supply, but they still need us to be alive for the thing to be finished. But he just straight up targets you first.
Yep. But luckily you have Achilles, Greek's greatest hero, on your side, and he's able to
play keep away with you, basically.
Yeah.
Tucks the master like a football and runs super fast.
Mm-hmm. But welcome to the Lostbelt Chiron, who is kind of a jerk.
Yeah, he's much more proactive. He also is a horse. Mm-hmm. He doesn't try to hide that he's a horseman. But is like we said, much less chill.
Much more proactive. Was the one that already shot out Achilles' Hill.
Yep.
So we have him to thank for all this. And we do battle, and we need to get the fuck away because we're not going to win this.
Mm-hmm.
So we try to get the fuck away.
Jason very notably sends Mandricardo and Chiome to cover the rear.
Yes. Chiome can't make it, though. She has to be left behind. She says she has another way. And Mandricardo's like, okay. And Chiome gets captured. And they tell what they're going to do with her immediately is they're going to make her food for the echidna. Which makes me bring up to this note, that's 2 small Japanese girls being sent to a flesh cavern in this game.
Which, by the way, when we see that later, that backdrop very much looks like that temple at Babylonia.
Yes. So I'm just a little like, guys.
This time's a little bit different, at least.
I know, but still.
Yeah.
So
is this I don't think we wrote this in our notes anywhere, but is this the first time, is this where Mandricardo breaks his wooden sword? I think it is.
Yes, I believe so. He breaks it.
Because Chiron reveals he knows how to do his normal noble phantasm, and Mandricardo is like, that's pretty cool, Chief, but what if Durandal?
Oh, I broke my sword.
And then he gets it back later. But we have a note for that later. I do appreciate that they keep his sprite with they have a broken sword sprite that they keep when it's relevant.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think that's important to his story because that's literally what his normal MP is him just literally kind of temporarily manifesting Durandal in his wooden sword and breaking it over the enemy.
Yeah. It's basically like a broken phantasm type attack where he destroys his wooden sword to temporarily replicate Durandal, with the acknowledgement that he can easily replace his wooden sword later because that's not really his noble phantasm.
Yep.
But yeah,
so
there's a big intense fight. We have to leave Chiome behind. Mandricardo's a little caught up about it, but Jason is like, "Don't worry about it. All's fair in love and war. Let's keep moving."
Let's keep moving. So you get back to the Nautilus. You pump Corday full of Athena, and then you gotta extract the Hephaestus. And it's a pretty intense scene.
Yeah.
Like she's screaming. Everyone's like, hold her! Hold her! It's like something you see out of a medical drama.
Yeah.
There is some internal monologuing. It's a very good
to hold her hand.
Mm-hmm. Corday notes that the warmth of that hand. It's super nice. It's super good. But hey, Corday pulls through, and she loves everybody. But except Super Orion. She thinks he's a really nice guy. I do want to kind of understand what this Greek romance equation is, Apollo, though. Is this an actual thing? Considering what I know about these gods, I bet it is.
I don't know if I trust Apollo, though.
Listen, I believe it. Not as bad as Zeus, but Apollo likes to fuck.
It's true. I guess that I can believe is he has a system for picking how he gets around the town, but those don't usually end well.
No, they don't.
We should be glad that Apollo has merely stopped at making Paris cute, and not like a tree.
So, with that though, that's unfortunately the end of my notes, but it's basically the end of this section too, because now we move on to section 19, the one who overcomes the stormy sea. Maggie, do you want me to keep reading, or do you want to take over?
I can take over. I wrote most of these earlier.
Right.
I also want to throw this out there, bring this up again, but once again, note the names of the section titles. Starting from this one, they get a little repetitive, but I think it's on point. So now that we have our final shot of Hephaestus Krill, we'll just keep calling it Krill. I know that's not even, I don't even think that's where the R and the L are, but it's way easier than the other way. At least if it's not right in front of me. And Nemo is super jazzed. He's hyped up. He's had his monster energy nanomachines. And we get to not just summon the Nautilus, but upgrade to the Storm Border.
It's big, yo.
Our shiny new warship. It's like
bridge
the Nautilus,
is huge.
But big. Yeah, we have this big bridge, shiny screens. Da Vinci is like, wow, the computer room is way bigger, guys. It's bigger and cooler. We can still deploy the Shadow Border for amphibious ops and as an escape craft. This is important later. By the way, I want to throw this out there in case you guys don't know this because you're not huge like Milsim nerds like I am and weren't in the Navy like Lucky is. Was. Grammar. Nemo says this is bigger than a modern nuclear submarine, which are fucking huge. Our current model, which is about to be replaced, but the Ohio-class submarine is 170 meters long.
I did want to add a note to this. They are huge, but a lot of that is for eternal fucking systems, like ballast tanks stored.
Oh yeah,
you know,
no. Like internally,
They're
they're cramped. But like, I want to throw this out there. Like, just the fact that Nemo brings up that it is bigger than a nuclear submarine means that it's fucking huge. Like, it's very big.
And the other thing is, I believe they said they're using the same technology as Shatterboard, where it's actually bigger on the inside.
Yeah.
Because that bridge is huge. That was the thing that summoned it. It's huge.
Yes.
Like, you can walk around that. You can
Yeah.
have a small gatherings in there. It's nuts.
Yeah. There's like, and I think it's even got like a little tower. Like, it's big.
It has the fucking world map.
Yeah.
Just right there. It's cool.
Yeah, you've got your Paper Moon display there. You've got multiple holograms. You've got multiple departments. You know, we do the crew check-in and everything. It's great. Snacks are ready.
I love Nemo Baker.
And then we get to one of my favorite parts of this Lostbelt. Nemo sets up the fucking conference call, the huddle, and Jason lays out the plan. And the song that plays, the OST bit that plays when Jason does the plan, this is the sickest shit. Guys, if you know what track this is, please tell me. I don't think it's on OST 3 or 4 because I have checked. So if you guys know which one this is, I would love to know. Like, it's kind of like dun, 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 like it's like sinister, but in like a heroic way. It makes you feel sly and slick, which is appropriate because Jason lays it all out here. There's some banter back and forth. He lays out his plan to like basically, we're just gonna go straight at Odysseus. He actually shows he has decent planning skills. We are outmanned, outgunned, and the enemy has superior intel. Jason is like, Odysseus is fucking smart. I'm going to operate under the assumption that he has thought of all of my plans before I have planned them, barring a couple of tricks up my sleeve. And basically everybody agrees. Like, Paris and Achilles are both like, yep. And then everybody else is like, yeah, I'm not a military guy, so I can't say. Sherlock notes explicitly he's not a military man. That's what Dr. Watson is for. And Major Carter similarly is like, too many cooks spoil the broth. Because Gordolf is like, hold on a minute, are we sure about this plan? We're just going to go rushing right at the enemy? What the fuck? And they're like, yes, we are. And he's like, well, shit. But yeah, so he's basically going to be like, Jason says, the only thing we can do is we can throw a Hail Mary and hope that we actually overcome. That is the only thing we can do is take momentum from the enemy, rush in, and hope that he can't do anything tricksy to us. So, you know, you have this whole great plan breakdown. He tells everybody what they're doing, all that stuff. And he leaves off with a cliffhanger, right? He says, and Charlotte Corday, I want you, and then cut. Because we cut to having our little heart-to-heart pep talk with Charlotte because she's leaving on a sneaking mission.
Mm-hmm.
And so she has this lovely conversation with us about, like, she's so glad that she, like, affected somebody's life, you know. Thanks us for saving her and all that stuff. She kind of pitches it as, like, I have to go away because I'm going to fucking explode still, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But later, she has this conversation with Jason on the Argo about how she's going to go do a secret plan. Once again, Jason and Corday have some really great bants. Like, Jason is like, I know you insisted on saying goodbye, but I hope you didn't leave any marks. And Corday says under her breath, I hope I left a little bit of a scar. And Jason, like, smacks her and is like, you fool! Don't say that! We've got shit to do, okay? And Corday's stealth plan? Dive into the fucking ocean. She just is like, very well then, goodbye! I want to see this animated of her just like, you know, running off the side, tipping her little hat, and then just sploosh.
You're supposed to jump to the island, but she missed.
Yeah. And she landed in the water. They're just like, well, okay. So, you know, we have that like one of our great heart-to-heart conversations, and then we have another. After that, you know, Foe gives us a fucking pep talk. They even make the little smack gesture. Like, you just imagine Foe, like, pawing at your cheeks, and you're like, it's okay, little buddy.
I know they said Foe was supposed to be down to an animal intelligence, but I really don't feel like that's the case, really.
It is definitely not anymore. Foe even starts to form words in this one. He's getting some juice back. I don't know if he has enough juice to do anything plot relevant, but like he's growing again. Which may or may not be important for shit later. But Mandricardo pops in. He's like, hey, you know, you have a nice talk. He's like, I know it's really rough, but you got to soldier on, and you can basically be like, yeah, I know. And he's like, okay, cool. Sorry for being so gloomy. And you're like, dude, you actually haven't been gloomy for a while. And he's like, you're right. I don't know. I guess we just kill time. What do you want to talk about? The weather? We're underwater. Yeah, so Mandricardo is shitty at small talk. But I like this because, like I said, he is really like gloomy and self-deprecating, and then he tries to be organic, and it sucks at it. But the topic you come to is, oh, what about Foe? Foe's adorable, right? Yes, Foe is fluffy. Like, they have a conversation about how fluffy Foe is.
Honestly, like, Mandricardo says this, he's like physically and mentally in his 30s. So it's really easy for me to relate to this guy sometimes. I'm just like, oh,
Yeah,
man, no, I get you.
but Mandricardo is as we say in the biz, big mood. He does also explain though, because he's replaced his sword. He explains how it works because the sword is just wood. He can replace it, so he used some of the Argo's spare timbers they've got for repairs to just make a new wooden sword, so he can do it again. That's pretty cool. So
Yeah,
after you lay out the plan and everything, go ahead, Lucky. Sorry.
About to say, no, he just explains that he made an oath that he would carry no blade but Durandal, so he literally can't carry any other weapon except his wooden sword.
But when he activates that power, because he kind of has because he touched Durandal once, he's got the thing going on. But yeah, this basically wraps up here, and we get to Section 20, Mad Passion and Disturbing Delusions. I think this was a no battles node, if I remember correctly.
I don't actually.
I don't remember. Like I said, we skimmed through like my main records and stuff. But we start with a flashback to Artemis and Orion. Artemis moves fast.
Uh-huh.
She shows up in her human body and is like, "Darling Daisuke, we're gonna get married." And Orion is like, "Whoa, babe, aren't you moving a little fast?" I talked about this on the one, and this is kind of like how this is projected, is that like Orion is normally pretty forward with ladies, but apparently Artemis moved so fast he was like, "Whoa, slow down. Why don't we just talk?" Artemis reveals that she modified her form to appeal to him, so that's probably why big booby Artemis. But Orion has some very poignant notes here. Humans and gods are not the same. He doesn't say that humans and gods shouldn't interact, they shouldn't have bonds, romance, whatever, but he says that fundamentally we're different people, so we go in different ways. Eventually, I will die and move on with my life. Because Artemis is like, "Yo, dog, you got to become a god so we can be together forever. Ooh.
Forever.
And Orion's like, "No way, babe."
He sounds a lot cooler than that. Like, when Orion is serious, he actually sounds very
that's
serious.
I should say. Like, this is a serious scene. I am boiling it down because there's a lot of dialogue here, but Orion is actually, like I said, like really poignant and really on point. Oh, that's nice. Somebody just shared the artist apparently did like basically Artemis Lily designs as her first design. That makes sense because remember in the myths Artemis was like 12 when she told Daddy Zeus, "No, Daddy, I don't want to grow up and get married."
Actually, that might explain. She might still have that mindset though. I
mean, yeah, that kind of does explain a lot about her. But there's important reason to remember why Artemis is one of the two virgin goddesses. But I think this explains a lot of her, even though she is, a big titty form, this explains a lot of her, like, childish airheadedness, right? She never really tried to... As, like, a goddess, her role was not too mature, right?
Yeah.
So she's still a little childish. Even you could argue Space Artemis is kind of, like, petty a lot of the time.
I mean, I feel like the more I think about it, because, that didn't necessarily click, she almost feels like a brooding teenager.
Yeah, basically. She's been stuck in space, and she's just so sassy. She's just like, "Oh, God, my God, guys." I mean, there's a lot more PTSD and stuff, but we'll get there. But, like, some of it's very, like, very sulky, very broody, yes. But so they have this whole conversation. Orion mentions that if he dies, at best, he wants to be, like, set in the stars so people remember him forever, but he's just a normal dude. And then he basically, he kind of, like, as you know, he's like, "Yeah, after that, our relationship was, like, full of, like, comical interludes and weirdness. Even how I died is arguably kind of funny. Because if you remember, at least canonically, Apollo not really pranked, but convinced Artemis to, hey, shoot that man out in the ocean over there." And she's like, "Bet you can't do it." And Artemis is like, "You fucking what, mate?" And then shoots him, and then it's like, "Oh, no," sad Greek music play, sad Greek chorus. It was Orion. He does talk about
say
how
what you like.
This
is one of the things. The one thing I like about Orion, like despite being like a horrible womanizer, you can tell he truly and utterly does love and care for Orion, but it's just more of a platonic love.
Yeah. Well, they brush over it, but I think you can get the idea from their meeting on the beach, and then the meeting between him and the terminal later is that like they're close. They actually had time to bond. It's just their relationship is comical because of like the speed at which Artemis tried to move, and then also talked about the like then that rumor like spread, and then that's how Apollo got involved, right? Like it's a
Right.
it's a very like comical series of misunderstandings leads to tragedy kind of story.
Mhm.
But yeah, they have this whole character moment, and I like this discussion about how, you know, humans and gods are separate and all that. It's very important. We go on to another soulful conversation with Mash, and she's like, you know, oh, Corday left. Well, I'm glad you got to say goodbye. Life is really just a series of meeting people and saying goodbye, and then you can, you know, you can talk about that, or you can be like, but I remember everybody. And I'm like, I remember every face, Mash. I remember everybody. Then, I mean, you do. The story goes to great pains, but yeah, there's a lot of common themes here, going back to that remembering people you leave behind kind of a thing. You get on the boat, you know, everybody's setting their plans. Mangiacardo asks you, what are we doing, boss? And you have to, you know, you do the classic win and don't die speech. This is an interesting choice because you have to pick win or survive, and then Mangiacardo's like, it's not just enough that we win, we also have to all come back alive. And then, or if you pick survive, he's like, yeah, but it's not just enough that we survive, we also have to fucking win, bro. Like, I like it. And so you have this whole speech, and you can end it with, we will attain victory, or let's all come back alive, you know? Because we kind of glossed over it, but basically, Jason laid out the full plan. The Shadow Border's just going to chill and do Shadow Border stuff. He's going to let Nemo mind his own business. He needs Achilles to punch all the boats. He has Paris flying Achilles' chariot, shooting all the dudes. And then you, Mash, and Mandracardo. That's a lot of Ma names, isn't it?
It is.
That's not really relevant right now, he says. And then Goldorf is like, you're right, it isn't. I love like, even when he's being cool as fuck, even Jason still manages to be a dork. But you guys are also going to jump on ships and do the classic thing and, you know, beat them up. Because, like, even though these are, like, advanced designs with, like, shields and radar, these are still fundamentally, like, Greek-era ships. They have ballistas on deck, and they have, like, sails and masts, and they do a lot of boarding action. So you're going to jump on boats and smash them up good. Bart is going to carry Orion as close as he can to Nemesis Island to basically put Odysseus on a clock. Because if they just fight Odysseus and defeat him, even if they can pull that off, he'll just be like, oh, Artemis, shoot me! You know, drop your payload on my position. Which is true, he would do that. So we're going to put the boat in motion, and Orion, remember, you can do that thing where you can fucking walk over water, so do that in an emergency. And Orion's like, what thing? And he's like, you know the thing that Poseidon lets you do? Oh yeah, that thing! Love this meathead.
Orion often forgets that he's the son of Poseidon.
Well, he talked about how, at least as a servant, he doesn't really remember having an important relationship with Dad, and it makes sense because, like, Orion is kind of a big deal. His mother isn't really. She is like, I don't even remember. I think she might be a daughter of King Minos by like some other, non-Pasiphae wife. But like, it's really convoluted. Nobody really cares about like where Poseidon came from. It's more of like what he was doing, right?
Right.
Because as I brought up, as a mythological figure, the shape of Orion has been known to humans since before this Lostbelt. This Lostbelt is 12,000 BCE. We have records of like bone carvings in caves of the asterism of Orion going back between 40,000 and 30,000 BCE. So humans have been like Space Bowman for a long time. So it makes sense that like some of Orion's mythology is like really, really vague. We just have always known that guy's up there.
Mm-hmm.
But we end this with, you know, new Argonauts roll out, you know, break the huddle, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. And then we get into Section 21 Challenge, Breaking Through the Distant Seas. We're back on those themes. My notes for this are very short because this is a pip that I remember had a lot of battles in it.
Oh, yeah.
And so the actual story bits are very light. Basically, we learn that Odysseus is a fucking micromanager. He is like, they're here. Dial up the radar to maximum sensitivity. Double the lookouts. Tell me every little thing you see. Like, joking aside, this part really reveals that Odysseus is really intense on, like, every little detail, right?
Well, to be fair, if you think about it, you kind of have to, because how often have we got by just by the slightest of margins of errors and whatnot?
Yeah,
like,
so but like that's like they show his tactical thinking. His way of strategizing is to not necessarily account for, but to determine every variable. He's like,
yeah.
All right, look out for them. I'm ready. And he's constantly. I like this bit because we do the inner monologue again for him, and he's like, all right, where did I go wrong? Did I fuck up? Did I miss any variables? Like, I'm shocked they've lived this long. What have I accounted for? I've accounted for everything. I have all the information I need. Like, I actually like in this mind because like. we even talk about this when we quote unquote fight him later, but like on the outside, the man is cool as a cucumber. But even internally, he's still going, did I fuck it up? Did I plan for everything? So this is a cool little note, but God, man, it's gotta suck for those fucking spear carriers. This guy is so micromanaging. And also, he sends you on suicide missions. Not that they care, but still. Odysseus, not a great boss. Anyway, this is where we get our first boat about Achilles' Greek's mightiest hero. Because that was a point Jason called him out earlier. Is like, you are definitely not you're the second strongest hero because you're not stronger than Heracles. But like, he's still, talking about being Greece's greatest hero. And these guys he's fighting are so stupid it hurts to talk to them. I boiled this down, but this speech is great. Like, Jason told Achilles to like punch boats until Chiron shows up. And I love how Achilles phrases this. He's like, "How long do you need me to hold out for? Give me the number. I'll live that long." And Jason is like, "Well, I need you to definitely not die until you lock down Chiron, right?" And Achilles is like, "Dunzo." And then he goes and does it. Spoilers. He holds out for the whole way. This is your first endurance fight with Achilles. I know some people had a little bit of trouble with that. I did not, because I used the invul early. Because the invul does nothing if Chiron fires his NP, so you need that guts. Basically, if you pop the guts before Chiron fires his NP, it's game over, man. But if you can live longer than that, it's okay. And considering Chiron likes to pop his skills most of the time, it seems okay. But yeah, basically, Achilles does Achilles things. He stands out against everything. Paris is doing Paris things, shooting at people, getting shot back. Apollo is fucking being very judgy and micromanaging himself, calling everybody out. You do some fights, it's cool. You, Mash, and Mandracardo jump on boats and punch people. It's a great big battle sequence. Very nice.
Oh, yeah. It's very... what's the word I want to say? It's intense. That's all I can
certainly
really say.
Action-packed, right?
Yeah.
So we go to Section 22, Those Who Drive Through the Storm. Once again, themes, guys. Damn. Never forget, kids, one of Achilles' horses can talk. He is also apparently backseat charioting for Paris. He zooms through the sky.
Listen, I'd be more surprised if there isn't a horse that can talk in fucking Fate.
Oh, I mean, fair, but like specifically one of Achilles' horses is divine and can speak, and I love it. Holmes has foreshadowing thoughts. I appreciate him, by the way, having an inner monologue rather than being full mysterious. Like, he realizes that something's bothering him about certain things, but he doesn't have enough of an idea to say it yet, so he's only mysterious to Gordolf, but to us, the audience, he's less mysterious. I like this tactic.
I guess that's a fair cop, honestly.
Yeah. He's like, listen, I have thoughts and feelings, but we're in the middle of something right now. I don't want to bother anybody, okay? I'll let you know when it becomes relevant. I also just put in my notes, bomb has been planted. Because, spoilers for this node and the next node. But Jason actually told Shiome to stay behind.
Oh, yeah.
This is the bomb he's been referring to constantly. He told her to get captured with the idea that she would be able to do something to turn the tides. And we see why at the end of this segment. But, we do all this jumping back and forth. We jump on our boat. We know our left from our right. Maybe you can choose to fuck this up. But Jason tells you, hard to starboard. And you're like, you know which one that is, right? And you're like, right or left. I don't know what happens if you pick left. Jason probably calls you a moron. But then we have to fight a Cerberus infused with Poseidon juice to make him better on water. Damn it, Odysseus, you're really abusing this tech tree. But yeah, so you fight a Cerberus powered up with Poseidon krill. It just fucking leaves you alone when Orion appears on the battlefield, because Jason is correct. Odysseus has so far clocked everything. He's like, okay, where's Orion? Where's he going? He's going to the island. Cut off the island. There he is. We're going to send the doggo after him. Surprise, second doggo. They hit his second doggo under the water. Great reaction by Orion. Orion gets bit on his arm. Oh, no. But speaking of zero chill, Nemo has no chill. He is just fire all the missiles. Like, he's just dumping torpedoes like it's going out of style. He says that these are ultrasonic torpedoes with the power of Triton's horn. So, yeah, he's using some serious torpedoes. I believe this is also after we use decoy torpedoes because apparently Lamias are heat-seeking.
Yes.
Makes sense. They were honing in on the engine heat before, so they use decoys like you actually do in real modern warfare, in electronic warfare. This is also a point that Jason brings up is he's like, listen, these guys don't understand submarine warfare. They go on the sea, they don't go in it. That would be sacrilege to them, so play that to your advantage. And all of this really just makes me want either an FGO Naval Miniatures game or give me an RTS, guys. I'd play this RTS. Like I said, get me in the tech tree, you know? Build me the echidna so I can make demonic beast units. Later, Odysseus is like, switch from lamia production to wyverns for anti-air. And I'm like, this is cool. This is like some cool aesthetics. But yeah, so Orion is bit but not stopped because there's a lot of moments. You talk about how intense this is, right? There are a lot of like false starts and like darkest moments that immediately flip around and become triumphs, right? Like, this happens a lot in this section over and over again. You're just, blow, counter blow, counter blow. Like, it goes back and forth. It's really interesting. So we get to section 23, Maiden of Monsters, the Tactician of Steel, and the Angel of Assassination. God, that is a mouthful. They have to use smaller font text for this in the record.
I wonder how long it was in Japanese, because they probably went ham on the kanji.
Yes. Basically, at the end of that last section, though we actually get the flashback here, the echidna went berserk because Chiome got thrown in by it. They fed her to it earlier to produce more Kerberuses because she wasn't doing it on her magical energy alone. So Odysseus callously throws Chiome to get eaten by the echidna, but Chiome wakes up inside the echidna and she remembers the plan. The plan is to activate her curse, transform back into the cursed serpent, and take over the body of the echidna, or at the very least, make it go berserk with pain. So she does that. She does all that stuff. She becomes Snek, and the echidna goes berserk, meaning that the demonic beasts will now attack everybody. We still have to fight them, but also the Atlanteans have to fight them.
It's like we have basically you deny the enemy an asset, and while you haven't removed yourself an enemy, you have given your enemy another enemy.
Basically, this reveals what Jason's real plan is, which is he is pure chaos warfare. This is chaos doctrine. This is just like, sow discord, deny enemy information, deny them assets, just make everything as fucking confusing for everybody as possible. So we do get some very subtle hints by Odysseus here because they have one Kerberus left and the soldier is like, "Sir, it's berserk," and Odysseus is like, "Don't worry, I'll bring it to heal." I actually reviewed these sections. I don't know if they explicitly state here, but I believe it's pretty obvious. We talked about the Hades Krill being lost. Odysseus is hopped up on that shit.
Probably.
That's why he can control Kerberuses, undoubtedly. Also, possibly why in some forms he's basically immortal. Like, when we fight him later, he outpaces everybody because he just refuses to die. Anyway, I love this instant drama, just add storm. Like, it starts storming for no reason. There's great animation in the background here. Shout out to all the animation, by the way, in this Lostbelt. It's fucking great. We'll talk about the literal fucking cutscenes we have later. But yeah, so I love this scene setting, right? Like, Odysseus rolls the fuck up. He undoes his mask. He also reveals his boob window. He shows up. I love his little speech here where he's just like, I don't care. It's time for us to fight to see which one of us lives. Like, which one of it is our fate? We have both brought everything we can to this battle. I don't care about, who's morally correct or whatever. Fate decides. Let's fight, And just great moments. This will be our last battle on sea and all that. And then we go to this great moment where everybody else fucking collapses. Odysseus is fucking immortal. Local man unkillable. News at 11. And then the thing you kind of expect to happens, where Charlotte jumps up out of the water to attack him, and Odysseus is just like, nah. And he just, I presume punches her in the chest. I don't know. There's a lot of blood. But he also doesn't have weapons, so, meh. And, there's this great moment, but then Charlotte reveals, actually, Odysseus, that was your problem. See, the only way I could make you drop your guard, which is the way my Noble Phantasm works, was if I used my Noble Phantasm and you thought you killed me. So I used Athena Krill to give me battle continuation, and also, by the way, you were stabbed. And Odysseus is stabbed, and he's like, shit.
Oh.
Was this where I went wrong? Because he reveals that he defeated himself. He defeated proper human history, Odysseus, and that guy gave him his data.
Yes.
He refused to give him emotional information. And this is the point that Charlotte brings up. She's like, you could never understand because you, Lostbelt Odysseus, don't understand love. You've never met Penelope. And that I assume is also what Panhuman history Odysseus was hiding from his counterpart, was like, no fam, you're not gonna get me talking about my wife. So yeah, Odysseus loses because he fails to account for human emotions. It's thematic or something.
It is thematic. I mean, like into this entire time, Odysseus has been pushing the perfect logic machine for the super logical master who's, working with the super logic gods.
Yes. So yeah, there's some thematic tells here. I'll bring this back later.
Yeah.
I do find it kind of interesting. While I think it is thematically appropriate that Charlotte gets the killing blow, it is kind of weird that like Odysseus is our main antagonist in this, and we don't get to fight him at all. Like he's not even half complete like Canis or Old Man Lee, or Scotty for that matter. Like he just doesn't have a sprite. We fight the final Cerberus, and then he beats us all up. So I'm like, that's a little disappointing, but I also totally understand. Presumably because of how fucking chunky this Lostbelt is, they are really pushing this stuff out as fast as they did. Well, yeah, WHODIME used a code that proper human history Odysseus would get, so that would be in the data download that Odysseus got. That's why Odysseus was like, "You think this is a fucking joke, my dude?" And WHODIME is like, "Yes, actually." And Odysseus is like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna play a joke on you. It's called Canis is right here," and they are mad anyway. So I do think it's a little disappointing there's not like a big climactic fight, but also this ending is just perfect. This is absolutely like totally the Charlotte Corday thing, and the Odysseus did not plan for this, and out of love, she does a murder. And she gets
Well, I mean, like, it's like super thematic because, Charlotte was literally the one that Odysseus summoned and
yes.
literally threw her away thinking that she'd be useful for nothing. And she's had that mindset this entire time. But at this last moment, it's like, no, I'm going to do something to change fucking everything. And by God, she did.
And then there's this great moment where after that killing blow goes, the sky just fucking clears. It goes to sunset. Just like whoosh. And then this is where we start getting goodbyes. And this one, ooh. This is a brutal one.
They had us. Because Charlotte Corday... Oh, thank you.
Yeah, we got a CG for this. But Charlotte explains that, like, as she sees your faces, and she's like, hey, so there was a little bit of a drawback on my Athena Krill. I got battle continuation, but since I have died again, I don't remember anything, actually. I don't remember why I wanted to stab that guy. I don't remember who you are, or what I'm doing here, or anything, really. And basically just, like this whole monologue about how she doesn't really remember, but she feels like she did something important for somebody, and she really hopes that person appreciates it, as you're standing right there, holding her hand as she's dying again, presumably telling her that you do appreciate it.
Gotta be telling her.
And she breaks down in tears, and her spirit origin finally collapses after she got that one shot in. But hey, guess what? Remember how I talked about how cutting off the head of the snake doesn't always work? Yeah, no, the Atlantis border troops are still fucking zealot lunatics, and they want to go down swinging. Not only was Odysseus going to blow up the Cerberus again, but these guys are going to blow up their own ship reactor, and destroy the Royal Fortune and fuck it all up. And you can't get loose of them until Jason appears. Ha-ha-za! So Jason jumps on their boat, yanks the anchor off and tells you guys to get the fuck away. And you're like, but Jason, what will you do? And he's like, don't worry about me, guys. Don't fucking worry.
Fucking Jason.
I'm
great at running away.
And I do appreciate that Jason blasting off is canon. Because the reactor fucking explodes. Mandricardo literally says, man, there's no way he lived through that. And then Jason fucking lands on your boat.
Looking perfectly fine.
Well, he has his shock face on. But yes, looking remarkably okay. And then you have this great line where you can either be like stunned silent or just be like, Jason? And he's like, whoa, thought I was going to really die there. I'm going to sit down now, guys. Don't ask me to do shit. And I think Jason even says something to the effect of, like, he's very surprised he's still alive. He thinks he's done, he has outlived his plan for himself, basically. So he's going to take a nap now. And then we reach the shore. So I don't have notes for this, but I think I remember these two sections pretty good, my dudes. This is The Hunter Who Pierces the Goddess Part 1 and Part 2.
Oh, man.
Boy, howdy. This is a whole fucking thing. So, you guys go to the island, you beat up some guys, you get to the optimum spot. Orion is ready with his shot. He fires his Noble Phantasm up. He's grabbing it. He's like, give me all your support spells. Mashed it, activates the Orchanak system to, like, brace him so he doesn't fucking explode. He, practice draws the bow. He's like, all right, I can do the shots. It's gonna make my spirit origin creak and groan, but I can do it. He takes the first shot. It's a CG. It flies up into space. Blam! Bonks into Artemis. Yeah. Smacks into her and reveals her core and, blows up her defenses. And then Artemis is like, what the fuck? And then we go for the second shot. He's gonna do it. He's gonna shoot the shot. And then Artemis drops her weighted training clothing. She reveals her power level. You remember how we had that pesky charge time?
Oh, yeah. It was a lie.
Yeah, she doesn't need to do that. That's the safe charge time. If she removes all safeties, she can fire, I think, as frequently as she likes, which she does. So she charges up a shot and fires it, and it perfectly cancels out the second arrow. And this is where we get, once again, darkest hour moments. Shit's real bad. Artemis is already charging up a second shot, even though Da Vinci says she's going to blow up all of her fucking magic circuits to do it. But she's already charging another shot. It's really bad. Orion has no more arrows. Though, I should note, he's not dead. Like, Orion is like, fuck, if only I had one more arrow. What can I do? And then your command seals light up. It's a summoning. A summoning, our first official summoning in Lostbelt, so they call you to call it to a servant. And who do you whistle up? Yo, it's an old man. Yeah, Hector of Troy appears, and he reveals, yes, I was counter-summoned by Achilles. And then we get to part 2. This is, oh my god, guys.
I love how they did this, honestly.
So part 2 stands with a flashback, which, by the way, I love this fucking sequence. It's another endurance battle with Achilles, but he's fighting on, and he's like, no, you guys don't get it. I'm fucking dead already, actually. Like, I'm literally not alive right now, and I am still kicking your asses. And in fact, I am going to stop talking, because I am going to stand here until my job is done, and I am just going to keep killing you motherfuckers. You will not pass. Yeah, you can't even beat a dead man. He also explicitly calls out, yo, I heard a legend about a motherfucker called Ben K. that he fought with arrows, and if I can't fight like that, how am I Greece's greatest hero? And, like, he does it. Delightworks, Aniplex, Cloverworks usually does these anime adaptations. Free idea. When you animate this sequence, do it in complete silence. No sound effects, just play OST and just show Achilles fighting. Like, for 5 minutes. Because you know there's a great action sequence here as he just keeps going. And even when he's out of juice, he's like, there's one more thing I can do. I can call forth my greatest enemy. He'll bail them out. And yeah. So first of all, fucking great moment for Achilles. Like, you can't even beat a dead man. I love this type of shit, you know. These kinds of heroic last stands are always great for me, and it's so Achilles, right? And I do believe Achilles even has a Batcon normally.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. We don't see it in his playable profile because his default skills are really boring, and he has 50 NPs. But
I'm pretty sure he does because he's usually immortal.
Yeah,
that's some sort of Batcon.
He has a Batcon though, because he can fight through some shit because he is Achilles. So Hector gets counter summoned, and he says all right, guys, real quick, I'm just here for a quick pep talk, and then I'm gonna stop this one arrow, and that's all I'm here to do. Okay, Paris, you're great, you're doing good, bro. And Paris is like, oh, Oni-chan. He's like, there's still something more you can do. Orion, you do it. And Orion's like, shut the fuck up, man. I got it. I can do it still. He's like, cool, great. All right. And Mandricardo's just like, oh my god, Oni-chan, senpai. And he's like, don't you worry, you're cool too. You'll understand what your role is in a second. All right, cool. I'm going to throw my spear. And then he just hucks his spear, his unbreakable spear, up into space. Using up all of the juice he's just been summoned. The man literally shows up for 5 seconds, throws his spear, blocks an Artemis shot, and then he is dead. He explodes.
Well, he doesn't full on explode because they very pointedly point out that Durandal lands back nearby.
Yes. Well, so Durandal survives, but he's like, yep, that's it. My spirit origin is used up. I am going away now.
But Mandricardo has something to ask him, and Hector's all like, yeah, do it, dude.
Yeah, he's like, wait, can I? And he's like, you gotta ask? I fucking dropped that spear. That's not my spear anymore, dude.
It's just a weapon.
Yeah, he threw his own arm off. And then we get the second shot, because Artemis is still coming. We haven't still figured out how we're gonna shoot her. So she fires her third shot in a row, I think.
Yeah.
And then we get this great moment. Mandricardo picks up the Durandana, which is Durandal, by the way. Durandal is just the blade, without the spear haft. So now he has Durandal, and he reveals his second forbidden noble phantasm, the one that was never realized. If he actually achieves Durandal, he has the unbreakable sword, and he fires it. He fires it with all his guts to block a goddess shot, which is saying something, by the way, because Mandricardo is not normally the type of servant who could stand up to a divine spirit, let alone an actual god, right?
Well, this is one of those things. I can't remember what exactly he says, but he says he's not doing this, for glory or for fame. He's doing this to save his friend.
Yes. Which is the proper way to wield a chivalric sword. But I would also
Yes.
like to point out, Durandal is actually indestructible. Not only does the blade survive being Hector's spear all the way to be Roland's sword, but this is a plot point in the original Song of Roland. Roland doesn't want anybody to get the blade because it's super full of saint juice. It's got 4 saints relics in it. So first, he tries to smash it on the ground. This causes a feature in the Pyrenees Mountains, in the legend anyway. This causes what is called to this day the Breach of Roland. There is a gap in the Pyrenees Mountains between the borders of France and Spain, which is allegedly caused by Roland smashing the mountains with his sword, which this whole CG sequence does justice, right? And then second, Roland, he either throws it in a poisoned river or he chucks it so hard it embeds in the wall of a nearby castle. Durandal is fucking unbreakable, which Mangiacardo uses to his extent to block this last shot, and Artemis is like, what the fuck is happening? Anyway, I'm going to shoot again. So the sacrifices keep stacking up. We got one more guy who needs to take a bullet for the team. So Paris has an idea. Hector told him there's still something he could do. He's like, Apollo, you have authority over arrows, right? Make me the arrow. Transform my spirit origin into the arrow. And some people were like, this seems a little pulley. And I'm like, I don't know about that. I'll say it this way. Because Apollo is known for a couple of things. One, he literally is one of the gods who has authority, capital A authority, over archery. It's one of his things. He is an archery god. Remember how Atlantis Phoebus Catastrophe works? She doesn't just call on Artemis. She shoots 2 arrows. One of them is for Apollo as well. So the twins share this archery symbology. Also, Apollo transforms a lot of motherfuckers. He is responsible for a lot of people transformed into flowers and trees and stuff. So to me, it makes perfect sense that he could use up what little authority he has to transmogrify Paris into an arrow, especially because, servants are spirits and stuff. So Paris becomes the last arrow, and then we get the big one. The big one. You thought WHODIME coming down from the mountain was the big scene, and you saw fucking Gatia again. No. This is the big one. This is the shocker. Orion reveals he is Grand Archer. He was summoned for a purpose. And he's like, but I'm going to give up my status as Grand and throw it all into this last shot. This will unlock my 3rd noble phantasm. I will shoot down the goddess. And he does so. And like I said, this is a fucking cutscene, right? Mm-hmm. They have the fucking backdrop against the sunset. Great placement, by the way. You see the charge up, the golden light. There's the narration. He fires the arrow up. You see the beam come down. There's an animation as the two shots connect. And yeah, there it is. Somebody's got the screenshot. I love this shit. Look at that last dying light type stuff. And he fires up. You see the arrow overtake, and he doesn't even hit her core directly. He fires through the beam and splits Artemis up the middle. And then it gets Sag. So Orion has given up his grand status. He's exceeded the limit of his spirit origin. He's fucking dying. But he's happy to go if it means he can, save the woman he loves, right?
Right.
And that's how he says what he did. He didn't fire this. He also says, I didn't fire this arrow out of hatred or revenge or anything. I fired it out of love. And then Artemis gets this, right? As she's dying, as her modules are collapsing, she tries to figure out what the fuck just happened, and she gets it. She understood this is an arrow of love. This was an arrow meant to save her. Orion even looks up at the sky and says, "You don't belong up there, goddess." And
I think they did also say something that Artemis could have done something to fucking get off one last shot, but she just couldn't because she was just so filled with this man's love at that moment.
Yeah. She says she could have either tried to fire another shot, or she could have ejected her extra modules like Hephaestus did, right? But she's just so stunned, so overwhelmed, and just accepting. She's been so lonely, and now she doesn't feel lonely anymore. There's this great shot of them holding hands. It's adorable. And
fucking Sun in the Underworld plays, and it kills me because that's the Extella fucking main theme, which is on the moon. So it's just ah.
And it's also because it's Extella, it's really soulful. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Slow piano notes as Artemis basically just closes her space eyes and falls to Earth defeated. And she's just yeah, this is your complete victory. You've hit my heart, buddy. And it's just the feels. Like, just,
Yeah,
the symbolism
what was the
of him saying, he's not doing it for revenge or anything. He's doing it out of love to save her.
what was the name of the Noble Phantasm? Wasn't it like something? Wasn't it like Arrow of Love or something?
Yeah, I think it was it had, because as Artemis or as Artemis Orion, their Noble Phantom is Tristar Amore Mio, which is her arrow of love. Let me double check. The wiki will have it. Yes. It's Ortigia Amore Mio, the huntsman who pierces the goddess.
Ah.
So basically, also it's another important point. They bring this up. He also fires it. You use all 3 command spells to order him to do it. But yeah, that's where this GIF is from, because that's that firing down Ortigia Amore Mio, and it's like, damn, dude. An anti-divine EX rank Noble Phantasm, maximum number of targets 1 machine, range infinite until it reaches Artemis. I love fucking fate sometimes, guys. God damn.
Well, I like they said, this Noble Phantasm is hyper specific. It can only be like realized with like very specific conditions. Like he had to have the divine arrow. He had to give up his grand status. There was a third one. What was it?
I think it was either he's shooting it for love or the command. Oh, yeah, he had a divine construct bow. That's right.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, like, he says it's his 3rd Noble Phantasm, but I think it's more that, like, he creates a new Noble Phantasm in this moment. He creates a new legend.
They actually say here in the wiki, Ryan gained a 3rd Noble Phantasm that shouldn't exist.
Yeah. So this is a special status, him as Grand. Let's talk about Grands a little bit. So we've encountered a couple of Grand characters before, right?
Right.
Obviously, Solomon himself is Grandcaster. We learned that his properties as the Grandcaster were very specific to what he had to do, because like all Grands are summoned for a reason. So as Grandcaster, Solomon had Clairvoyance EX. He could see the past, present, and future. And also he had a very specific ability to basically he had access to the 10 rings he could give back, which remove basically that killed Gaeta as a beast. That removed him from being an immortal, king of mages, and made him a human man to punch. Big punch. We see this similarly with Gramps. Gramps is Grand Assassin. He is summoned not specifically to do anything, but he follows us to Babylonia because he knows we need some help. And he has that special ability to conceptually weaponize death against Tiamat, who is immortal.
Honestly, I kind of wondering if, because in Babylonia, because I was actually thinking about this, in Babylonia, he also says he gives up his grand status to do that. So is like giving up a grand status just a way to like basically do something that should not normally be possible?
I think that seems right. Because like, remember, Solomon technically gave up his grand status too, because he gave up his position in the Throne of Heroes.
Yeah.
So what we know is that the Grand Servant container is fucking huge. Like, it's a step between like normal servants to Grand as it is from like humans to servants, basically.
Yeah.
For instance, we talked about how Qin Shi Huang had a spirit origin that was equivalent to a Grand. He is not Grand Ruler because that's not how it works, but that's how much power he. And beasts are supposed to be even many more times in size and power. But it seems like Grands do have the inherent ability to give up their status in order to basically create a conceptual weapon against beasts or equivalent forces. I suspect that a true whatchamacallit, like a true god probably qualifies like a beast. They certainly have a special intro. Spoilers for later. So night, by the way, people going to sleep. It's almost midnight. How long have we been talking? We're at just under 3.5 hours, so this ain't even the longest.
Okay.
But yeah, so I think you're right that it seems like basically using up all your grand juice. And I think somebody said in chat, I think the idea is that they have to sacrifice their grand status to do it, partially because that's how humans get that advantage rather than the world, but I don't know for sure. It definitely seems like every grand we have met, every grand servant we have met has to give up their status to help us, but they have a special power as basically a conceptual weapon that defeats the enemy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're all summoned for a purpose. Now, you can argue, Koyan Sky is supposed to be here. There's something freaky going on with her spirit origin. Is Orion supposed to be here for her? I don't think so. I think the Counterforce specifically summoned him to deal with Artemis, because that was the whole point of that Noble Phantasm he created. right? Yeah, if we had to fight complete Beast 3, we would have needed a Grand. Instead, we got alter egos mostly, basically.
Well, yeah, like I said, both yeah, no, I'm sorry, I'm just like really like yeah, no, we fought Beast 3, L and R were both just they were incomplete mostly.
Yeah. And we still had to, and because we didn't have a Grand, we had to cheat in our own way to defeat them.
Hacks.
Yeah, everybody's hacks. It's fate. Okay, he does say he had a different reason for being summoned. It's interesting then. It's interesting. We'll see if we can that makes sense with some of his other purposes and what I know about some of the Grand stuff. We'll see how explicit that becomes in Olympus. That makes sense though why he was left behind. But yeah, we've met another Grand. By the way, spoilers. This is why I was like I kind of feel like I need to expend a little bit of effort for Super Orion as well, because I got Gramps, I got Merlin. What is it with Grands and Buster, huh? Merlin, by the way, is not literally Grandcaster, but he qualifies for the position, so he may end up there because Salmon is not there. Okay, so there's some interesting things we'll see about what we got going on. But yeah, that's basically where that ends. Is we get this shot, the showdown, and we have God, it hurts me so much, but like I forgot actually we got another goodbye at the start. Bart left when we touched the island. He was like, that was what I was summoned for. I am the courier. I was supposed to deliver you. I've got to go now. And, like, basically after Orion goes, the only servant you are left with is Jason. And they just have this fucking moment where they flash back to everybody, right?
Right.
Starting with Drake, they go through all the people you met and lost on this and, like, kind of like remembering them in your hearts because you're about to do the final move. Because it's not even fucking over, guys. This was 2 of the 3 things. So we got to do that 3rd thing.
And so everyone gets back in the storm border.
And sails away into the night towards the hole.
The Great Pit.
The Great Pit, they call it. Yeah. So this is section 26, the last one. Final Showdown, the Hollow Sea God.
Oh, man, it's a trip. Because everything starts off okay. Like, you're swimming along, you're making it towards the hole. Oh, no. I'm being pulled.
We're being sucked towards it. Also, by the way, does that tree look illusionary to anybody? Oh, yeah, no, it's a fucking hologram.
That must mean that Olympus must not be up. It must be down. Hollow Earth was
Goldorf yells
right.
about the Hollow Earth theory. But by the way, I love this, though. I love that even in the ultimate version of it, Atlantis is still under the fucking water. They made the legend work out.
Mm-hmm.
So you get pulled towards the maelstrom. Captain Nemo has experience with this. But as you get sucked in, he's like, we're going to charge straight in. We're going to drop in on him. There's nothing that can stop me. And Goldorf is like, are you okay? And he is like, fuck yeah. Like, Nemo's really gung-ho about all this. He doesn't give... He does not give a fuck about the ocean. So you dive into the border of the Great Pit, the maelstrom, and you're like, hey, there's a large object coming towards us fucking fast. What is it? Oh, yeah, it's fucking Poseidon. He's ready to rock.
Still in his full machine god form.
Yes, he is in his machine god form. He is out to get you, and they mention he has a barrier around him. These spacecraft have shields. This is why Artemis couldn't be shot down by other noble phantasms. So he's got an impenetrable shield all around him, and he's firing weapons at us. What do we do? We've scanned him. It appears there's a tiny weakness in his shield. Oh, gee, what caused that? And then you just look at the piece of Poseidon core you're holding. Oh, right, foreshadowing. So, yeah, by the way, to put this in perspective, motherfucking Servant Francis Drake went all the way to the Great Pit, somehow penetrated Poseidon's impenetrable barrier, popped one of his cores, weakened his shields, and fucked off back to land.
You got cursed for it, but Pioneer of the Stars is no fucking joke.
Also, it was explained in Okeanos, Drake has a conceptual strength against Poseidon because remember how she got that grail? She punched Poseidon's ghost.
Oh.
She punched the divine spirit, the last remnant of Poseidon. So, yeah. And that was real-life history. That's canon and fate. Real-life Sir Francis Drake found a Holy Grail equivalent by punching Poseidon out. So, yeah, Pioneer of the Stars applied. That was Drake. That's why Drake said it wouldn't apply anymore. Drake already got her one, basically.
Mm.
But this gives us a tiny weakness. So, here's what Nemo's plan is. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to joust him. We're going to come at him head-on, firing weapons, and then we're going to... the manga illustrates it. That's pretty sick. So we're going to dive at the last minute. One of these guys calls it crazy. By the way, I do believe technically that maneuver, the emergency dive in a joust, that is called a crazy Ivan, I think. You like accelerate toward the enemy and then you break off at the last minute and get behind them. It's an actual Submariner's trick. Look it up. And then we're going to shoot the shadow border at him, and you're going to land on the hull and destroy the other cores from the inside, because remember, we can do that. And that's what we fucking do. After we transition to the map, which I love, by the way. This is possibly the best Atlantis OST straight up. There's 2 special tracks here. There's the boss theme, and then there's the actual map theme, and I love them both, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, this underwater map theme is really cool, and then the actual boss fight. But yeah, so basically we fire the shadow border out. Goldolf is driving. He's having PTSD flashbacks. We're giving him encouragement. And you and Mash, because Jason is here, but Jason is like, yeah, I can't fight anymore. I need to rest. Like, if you want anything out of me, I can't do anything.
He gives you buffs in fights, though.
Yeah, he gives you, Jason's pep talk in the last one. But, like, so canonically, you and Mash solo these. I wonder if they do animate this, how they'll handle that. Like, will Mash just bunker bolt them? I don't know. But so, you have to attack the cores. And there's some great stuff here. First of all, Poseidon thinks every human is Francis Drake, and he is mad about it. Like, they go out of their way to say that, like, he's gone crazy.
He is hollow. Yeah.
He's gone nuts about like, he's gone so crazy hiding in the oceans all these time, and then Drake heard him for, like, the first time in forever. He's a lunatic now. And then you do the actual boss fight, and holy shit, these boss subtitles. Like, they play this techno-ass fucking music, and then, what is it called again? I don't remember the exact words.
I don't remember, I'm sorry.
It's like, God Machine Advent or something. But, like, they flash up the normal subtitles, right?
Yeah.
And then the fucking screen slams down in fucking metal squares, and they, like, punch it in, and it's Poseidon in Greek letters.
Yeah.
It's fucking rad as hell. I love this bit so much. Oh, my God. The boss fights weren't that bad, either. The most annoying thing was that he sucks up your NP juice. That's shitty, Poseidon. Don't do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you do these last 3 boss fights. You blow up the 3 cores. You fight Chiron at the end. Chiron also lived. Achilles didn't get him, so you defeat him at the showdown. Jason, pep talks you, and then you go to get back on it, and he's like, and you're like, Jason, are you coming with it? And he's like, no, guys, you've won. You've defeated Atlantis. This is all my job. I'll sit here and make sure Chiron doesn't get any funny ideas. And you're like, all right, Jason, goodbye, Captain. And you get back on the shadow border. You drive the fuck out, and he's protecting his horde of goods that fall off ships. Correct. This is what sinks all those shipping containers. This motherfucker. So you get back in the shadow border. You drive off, and Jason reveals. Remember how Medea gave him that mystic code earlier?
Yeah.
To make him look cooler. He turns it off, and he reveals he is covered in blood. He did actually get blown the fuck up. And he...
Actually, I think, personally, I think he's been getting injured this entire fucking time and just been hiding it. Because...
I think he, like, I don't know if he got, like, seriously beat up, but definitely in this last bit when he's been fighting, yes.
Because I think that's what he's been doing every time he's been fucking, like, laying down and stuff. He's just been trying to recover from all this fucking fighting that, he normally doesn't do.
Yeah.
Like... He's been trying to play it off because he's a cool tactician, which is what the Mystic Code was supposed to do. It was supposed to make him appear as a cool and competent commander.
Yeah.
Which was...
And he did reference it when he did the plan earlier, because he said that he was glad he had the Mystic Code because he was sweating bullets. But yeah, so basically he reveals to Chiron that, yeah, he's been fucked up this entire time. He has not been cool. He has been basically dying. He's been on his last legs. But he's a Greek hero too, damn it. And so he had to make sure to see them off. That was his job. Because that was a big thing about this Lostbelt, is everybody had a job, right? Everybody had a goal they had to accomplish. So Jason saw them off on their journey, and Chiron is like, wow, damn. Well, I guess my pan-human history, my proper human history counterpart did okay teaching you, kid. Anyway, let's die on this exploding Poseidon. And then Poseidon explodes. But it's not over yet. You're descending into Olympus, and then there's basically 2 parts to this epilogue, right? When you get your Grail. By the way, they kind of fluff it. You get a Grail because Poseidon had a Grail level experience. Wow, somebody had all the screen caps. Damn. But yeah, there it is. This is they run through everybody's goals. He never stopped running. Brought hope. Bought everybody some time. He saw them. saw everything, fought for everything, and saw everyone off when he was done. Good job, Jason. Shout out to you, brother. You still have problems with women, though. Anyway, we get to the epilogue, which is in our notes, but we get to the epilogue bit, which is, number one, Musashi is in Olympus looking up, and she's like, ooh, that shooting star must be them. I knew they'd make it. Don't worry, guys. It'll be a cinch from here. Beat. Actually, no, it won't. This will be the hardest fucking fight you ever had. I hope you guys are okay, because it sucks down here. Which, by the way, by all accounts, Olympus does suck. Like, it's really fucking hard. I did not realize they went that ham on, like, letting you know these fights are going to be hard. Because, like we said, events are usually like a year to 6 month turnaround, so they had to have already been in pre-planning for some of these boss fights, right? So, yeah, that's really interesting. And then we get the second teaser. Clank, clank, clank. It's a dude at a forge. Who is it? It's fucking Muramasa. He's working. He's preparing some weapons, and he's talking to a guy. Who's he talking to? It's fucking proper human history, Hephaestus. Apparently, by defeating regular Hephaestus or something, causing him some damage, he was able to summon or be applied with regular Hephaestus' authority. And Hephaestus is like Muramasa's forge buddy, and he talks about how, yes, although my Lostbelt counterpart was on their side, I am on the side of the Lostbelts and the Olympians. Probably because proper human history Hephaestus would be way more bitter.
Probably.
Yeah, he got access to the other part of his brain as a catalyst. So he summoned Pan-Human History Hephaestus, and now we know that Muramasa is imbued with the Forge God's authority. Yeah, he got access to Hephaestus' main unit somehow. I think the implication was that he cut it off himself, but I don't know if he can do that normally. It was cut off, and that's how Muramasa got it. And that's our cliffhanger. Mm-hmm. I thought he said he was from proper human history. I believe that was the note. It's a little weird if it's just the other normal half of him. Because he said, like, my counterpart.
Like, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's been, like, it's some weird lobotomization because, like, the half that they got was the side that reason that they should stick with humans, and this side is the side that reason that they should stick with the Lostbelt. I don't fucking know.
Listen, I was very tired when this happened, and we did not have time to review this, so the exact dialogue is left to me. Okay, so that was, so it's funny, that wouldn't be his head then, it would be his heart, basically. That's also very funny that's the emotional one is the one that sides with them, but the logic one is the one that thought it was rational to help us. There's a lot of really interesting parallels, which we're about to get to. But basically, we have to fight Hephaestus and Muramasa now. It's the Nasu double gut punch. You must fight everybody, and also, by the way, this is going to be really hard. Even Musashi thinks so. I love the symbolism, though, that we're like a shooting star coming down to Olympus, though. It's really neat. They show a CG, by the way. Olympus is a really fucked up Crystal Spires and Toga's fucking Space Mountain.
Space Mountain!
So, I've got some overall Lostbelt thoughts here that I've put down, and I want to hear Lucky's opinion on these thoughts and some of his own thoughts. So I want to say, thematically and structurally, this Lostbelt is designed very interestingly. When we do these deep dives, right, these full talks, normally we spend fucking hours waxing on our relationship with the Cryptor and their servant and what kind of character they are and what they mean for the story. But you can't really do that here. WHODIME appears personally very little. He's in a couple of phone calls. He shows up for one section. And then when he fucks off at roughly the halfway point of the story, he never shows up again.
Nope.
He has no further input. It's all Odysseus. Similarly, Canis is jobbed out before even then, though you do get a couple of fights with them, though obviously Canis has appeared before, so there's a little bit of build-up there. But Canis jobs out and leaves to set up how the Dioscuri are gremlins, but then they don't appear further either. They also recall back to Olympus. So we can't really have that conversation about our Cryptor yet. This means that our primary antagonists for Lostbelt Atlantis are Odysseus and Space Artemis. I'm calling her Space Artemis because it's easier. Mm-hmm. Mecha Artemis, I guess, would also be good, but I like saying space. I like space.
Nice.
And then you have the generic Atlantis soldiers, the literal faceless spear carriers as the backdrops, right, to play Odysseus' foil. Chiron comes at the end as a foil to Jason and Achilles. Well, I'll talk about Poseidon later.
Poseidon's our kaiju fight.
Yeah. I have a note for that in a second. But basically, like, Chiron comes in at the end as a foil for specific characters we get later, and he talks about how he's buddies with Odysseus, but they don't really interact much, right? They have
a great working relationship.
Yeah, they have a great working relationship. They fit well together, but mostly Chiron interacts with, like I said, with Jason and Achilles as a foil. So Space Artemis is obviously the most powerful one, arguably the most tragic, right? Right up there at the end. Yeah. And she has this really complex relationship with Orion and her fellow gods and godships, like with Hephaestus, right? That back and forth and stuff. But otherwise, she doesn't get a lot of characterization. Like, most of it is just this, like, slow emotional moment of, like, realizing that, like, wow, Artemis is, like, really lonely and has a lot of PTSD because she has shot a lot of things. And that kind of all culminates in that moment of, like, her fall, that, like, crushing emotional weight of, like, oh, holy shit, this guy really loves me. Fuck. Well, I guess I'll die.
Guess I'll die now.
Like, that's the only response. Like, she realizes that because she receives the arrow of love, right? That she's like, oh, I can't even do anything else. The only thing I can do is fall. And it's honestly the same with Poseidon. Poseidon basically plays the equivalent role in this of the tree. He also has sick music. He's basically the really, really overpowered Eldritch boss thing in the last node that you fight, right?
Right.
Like, every one of these Lostbelts has had this kind of moment where we're like, all right, everything's going great. And then, oh, fuck. Something came out of nowhere. It's really huge. We're fucked. It's a tree. And in this case, it's Poseidon.
Yes.
So this leaves us with our main antagonist, the main character on the enemy side we see the most, is Odysseus. A logical, calculating tactician who will spend even the lives of his own men if it brings him victory. Mm-hmm. He will tolerate any collateral damage. He will use any excessive force. He will make use of demonic beasts, divine punishment, subterfuge, and sabotage, like he tries to, send bombs after us, use Corday against us. He will use any of the Theos Kleronomia, I wrote this down, but I don't even know if I said that right, to defend Olympias' border, which is his eternal charge. Now, he does have his pride. Like, he does even say in that moment before we fight him that, like, he's like, maybe I should have called up some Olympus soldiers instead. But he's like, no, I said that my Atlantis divisions would suffice, so I'll use them, right? Like, He has some pride, but mostly it's all cold logic. It's all just, minimum effort for maximum damage, right? So in this sense, I see that I've thought about this. I see Odysseus as a foil to us and Jason as commanders. He is a foil to us, obviously, but he's a servant, too. He's a Lostbelt servant, so he's a foil to our servants as well. And I think primarily he's a foil to Jason.
Mm-hmm.
So we will also use up our men's lives if needed. We do it a fuck ton in this story. But we don't do it as a calculated sacrifice to maximize the chance of victory. Every one of those moments is a heroic stand to allow for any chance of victory to begin with. Right? We are so fucking outgunned that the only thing we can do is have our guys use up literally everything we have to let us have a chance to win. Whereas Odysseus is just like, yes, just park your boats right there. Don't let them escape. You'll get blown up too, but they will definitely get blown up. And then we don't get blown up, and it kind of sucks for them. We bounce ideas off our subordinates, and we relax, and we rest ourselves by spending time with them and everything. Odysseus never takes a day off. He is always working. Even though Chiron is his dear friend. Somebody even brought up how, like, Chiron was, like, kind of mad at the end, and he was like, there's no room for negotiation. Like, they're close, but they don't really hang out, right?
All right.
So I put this in my notes. Odysseus is all work, no play. And that's kind of his weakness, because several times we're cautioned to take it easy in this chapter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we are literally told, hey, take a break, sit down, relax. Similarly, Odysseus is at least externally always calm, whereas Jason is emotionally volatile. He is all over the place. He is cracking jokes, he is making faces, the whole thing. So I think it's a stark contrast, but it throws in sharp relief how different the two sides are, right? So Odysseus is our main antagonist, and I think that's kind of what they're going for with his themes. Sorry, I have to stretch. We've been doing this a while.
I'm gonna reiterate this. Like, I do think it's a little weird that he jobs out to Corday. I mean, it's a great scene, but I was kind of expecting we at least have like one, at least nothing fight.
I mean, FGO, we literally did it with Canis earlier. FGO's not shy about hopeless fights, right?
Yeah. Like, I don't know, maybe honestly, it might have been like, I think this is around the time that things were getting hectic, so they might have had a plan for it and just scrapped it due to time.
Yeah.
So, like, that's my ideas, but it is a little bit of a letdown because, again, you are right. Like, WHODIME is super cool and suave, but he's the evil mastermind sitting at the top of the tower, petting his cat on a chair.
I do at least appreciate that this Lostbelt shows that he is not all talk. Like, if he comes down, if we make him come down there, he's fucking powerful. But I think this is going to turn out to be his fatal flaw. He is so fucking wrapped up in his own perfect plans and his own systems, and that's what's going to fuck him. Like, he should have got off his keister and just punched out Gatia. We know a dude can do it. We did it ourselves, okay? Like, He can't be that hard to punch. And finished us off, but he didn't because he didn't want to endanger the perfect plan he foresaw. So he fucks off back home, and then we beat the fuck out of Atlantis as a result.
Unless his perfect plan is his fucking him getting fucked up. Is he that meta?
Yeah, I don't know. That could be the meta play is like he set things up so that even if he loses, he wins. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see in a few months. So I want to bring up a thematic point, right? Atlantis has thematic parallels to Okeanos, adventure, comradeship, all that stuff. Very deliberate, literal narrative parallels. I also want to say it strongly plays to literal themes of breaking through and weathering storms. Notice how many of those times those themes come up in section titles. Mm-hmm. Bart even calls us out to Odysseus. He's like, "You're just one more wave to be crested, motherfucker." Like, all this stuff. It is a metaphor for overcoming conflict, which seems overwhelming, and succeeding through your human ingenuity and because of your values and emotions, not in spite of them. It's really interesting that this was released basically at the end of 2019, like before shit got really freaky deaky. Mm-hmm. But I think for us now in 2021 applies so much. Like, we start this chapter by being blown the fuck out, thrown in a literal ocean, an ocean of trouble, and washed ashore. How many people have felt like that in their life, right?
Mm-hmm. And
what do? You fucking get up out of the ocean, you spit out that water, you tie your shoes, you get back up, and you eat that horse. Wait, I lost the metaphor. But no, like, that's the whole point of this story is humans persevere. We weather the storm. That's how you live life. You can't let the ocean pull you down. You got to keep moving forward. You don't want to forget what you've been through and who helped you along the way, but you have to move on and keep struggling. Estrella even says this. Don't even give a shit about winning. You have to fight now. This is your chance for survival. You must fight, right? So it's a big old deal. It's very important. And so this Lostbelt is interesting because it's the most direct and overwhelming we've encountered in terms of our opposition to our presence, right? Like, other Lostbelts have been hostile. This one is the one that is the most, like, the Lostbelt residents show up to fuck our shit up, and they succeed. And this is a way it can tell new stories, even though we make a whole joke about, well, not a joke, but, like, we referenced this in the beginning. This is the 5th time we've done this. They call it our complacency. Oh, this will be easy. And then we get blown the fuck up because those other Lostbelts weren't really trying.
Yeah.
Like, that is a running theme. Those other Lostbelts, they didn't have their shit together. Like, Cowdock was literally trying to replace his Lostbelt king.
Yes.
Scotty was living in literal stasis. I'm going to circle back to this. Chin-Shi Wong didn't know what the fuck was going on, and God Juno was being manipulated by Doman to just keep running his dumb little experiment. We haven't met him yet, but presuming Zeus seems to be the Lostbelt king, Zeus has his shit together. He is listening to WHODIME. He is ready to fuck our shit up. He has people doing things. It's a whole thing.
Well, like I said, like the whole reason why we're here is because this Lostbelt is literally about to do whatever the thing that the foreign god wants it to do, and we can't have that.
Yeah, it is. This Lostbelt is about to be complete for phase 2 or whatever, which none of these other Lostbelts would. But I would like to point out, this is something that Holmes foreshadowed. He points out, this tree didn't shoot any shit at us. Now, obviously, I think part of that is because the tree is actually in Olympus, which is underground. But I do also wonder if maybe that means that, like, that's part of what WHODIME's got going on, right?
Right. Because
usually, so that was the sign that in Lostbelt 2, that tree was actually really fucking mature. And it was. Like, honestly, if Ophelia hadn't been such a baby about it, or also she was influenced by Surtur through the master-servant relationship, but, like, if she just dimed out Surtur to Scotty, and they got their shit together and killed Surtur, right? That Lostbelt would have taken the fuck off. That tree was very mature. Tree 3 was also pretty mature, but it was being hidden, right? It was being suppressed from revealing its true purpose because Python didn't want it to fight, basically. So it's really interesting for Holmes to point that out. I wonder if we will see seeds in Olympus or not. Keep this in mind as we move on. Now, I've noticed also a second theme, though, which I think may end up extending to Olympus itself. This is a theme I'm just saying is talking about mechanical or mechanisms. Everybody in this Lostbelt is just going through the motions. They repeat process like a rote script, but nobody's going anywhere. Lucky talked about this multiple times. The exiles just live their lives. They have no ambition. They have no drive. They don't want to do anything other than keep existing and hope that Olympus notices them, right? Odysseus guards. Artemis shoots. She talks about how much she just keeps shooting and shooting. No one of these characters are evolving anymore. They have no goals. They just follow the program. Even the demonic beasts are allowed to exist as part of the process of Olympus. This, I think, ties heavily back into their use of Zeus's title as the Demiurge. He is a craftsman who sets the world in motion and maintains its process, but he does not create. He just maintains this motion.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about this, right? Like, Hephaestus was being mechanical, logical. All of our enemies are very rational. They don't get super emotional, whereas everybody in our team is emotional as fuck.
Yeah, we are.
So, contrast to the locals, our heroes are emotionally volatile. They're willing to talk smack about themselves, their allies, their enemies, their own history, but they're also willing to make friends, fight for their friends, fight for love, grow as people. Grow despite the fact that these characters are already dead. This is a point Achilles is bringing up constantly. We're fucking dead. We did our jobs and we're gone. Like, our only purpose is to help you out now and help humanity and keep moving, right? But they are all so deeply motivated to go past their boundaries, overcome their flaws, and keep surviving and growing. And that's how we win, right? Like, that's how we can stop all those shots from Artemis, is that our heroes are willing to give up everything they have and actually grow beyond their bounds. Same with Odysseus. Cordelia is able to, like, overcome her own weaknesses and exceed her own parameters and win. It's all really interesting. Next, I have some back thoughts about what other Lost Belt's themes were. So, Lucky, if you have anything more you want to say about Lost Belt 5's, like, themes and characters you've been thinking about, you got anything off your chest?
Well, no. You basically said, well, you said a lot better than I could, honestly.
I spent a lot of time writing this baby essay.
Yeah, but I have mentioned this before. I think the most interesting thing about this Lost Belt is that we're in part 2 of 3. Like, a lot of the time, I know they call this, like, the first half, but this is one of those Lost Belts where people were already fighting on our behalf before we even got there. Like, it's almost like a full-on war zone, or, well, not war zone. I guess it'd be more like a guerrilla warfare of some are being servants. They're leaving clues. They're leaving messages.
Right. Every step of the way, right? Like, the advanced team is letting us know, hey, we were here before you. You're on the right path. Keep going.
Yeah. And, things have been happening, like, before you got here, which is to say that it's the same to say with all the other ones, but in all the other Lost Belts, there was definitely a sense of not much is happening, really.
Yeah, in most Lost Belts, the servants the counterforce summons without us don't know what the fuck they're doing, right?
No, they kind of just maintain, like, we are the catalyst. In the first 4 Lost Belts, we are the catalyst that enacts change. In Lost Belt 5, change is already happening. People are already doing things. People are trying to stop this.
We're just along for the ride, baby.
I would say we're the reinforcements,
That's true.
Someone rolled a triumph on their mass fucking combat.
Yeah. The counterforce knew it would be coming, and they prepared accordingly.
Yeah, so, like, that's why I honestly kind of feel like sometimes the pacing was a little weird, and we sometimes get exposition out of nowhere. Because they definitely want to set up, they want to set up the final act here, the third. Because, as like I said, we've already hinted at characters that we already know are going to appear. Like, we know Musashi's there, we know Medea Lily's there, we know Kentoki is there, and, we got other mysterious servants and whatnot.
And we know that we think all the other than maybe Doman, but all the agents of the foreign god are in town. They said Coin Sky is there.
Yeah, we know most of the cryptors are physically there.
Yes. Basically everybody but David is there. So, like, there's a lot of setup and foreshadowing, you're right. And it's a lot more it's usually a lot more triumphant than Act 2 movies are, but this absolutely ends in the Act 2 movie climax, right? Like, it was very costly, but we beat that guy, but there's even more conflict to go. Cliffhanger. And like I said, Musashi even does that thing where she's like, you thought that was tough. That's peanuts compared to Olympus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That is, and you are right. The pacing is sometimes weird, but it's because Nasu is basically writing, much like how he wrote Camelot Zero. Nasu figured out, like, he knew all this stuff that happened and wrote it in here, but we weren't there for it.
Yeah,
and it keeps coming up, and it's a little weird sometimes. But so to wrap up and get us over the 4-hour mark, I have some comparison notes. So to compare and contrast. In my estimation, my, amateur art critic brain, amateur literary critic here, I think Lost Belt 1's themes, were about survival, and especially survival in an uncaring and hostile environment. We are thrown from Chaldea and thrust into the harsh reality of this conflict. This Lost Belt is abjectly shitty, but we have to come to terms as a character with what we need to do to survive, right?
Right.
Like, we don't know what survival is, and so we have to understand what that means and actually like accept we can do this to survive. But we're thrown in a strange new world and have to figure out. And like so many times, do our Yaga friends think about like what it means to survive? It's Cryptor Kadok is represented as basically an equal. He's roughly the same power level as us. He's struggling to like grow and overcome on his own, as seen by how he wants to replace Ivan as the king. Ivan is basically a non-character. He's just a Deus Ex Machina. And so we
call it a Deus Ex Machina. What is?
Well, the villain version is Diablos Ex Machina, but like he is the third act twist. Is like he's the ominous thing lurking in the background until it becomes necessary for him to actually get the fuck up.
Yeah.
So there's a term for that, but it's after midnight, and I'm very hungry. I want a snack. We're almost done here, and then I got to edit this monstrosity. But so that's what I think Lostbelt 1's themes were. I think Lostbelt 2's themes had to do with hope and fate. Ophelia constantly locks fate into place with her eye, and she thinks she's trapped in a cycle of failure. She thinks Ragnarok is inevitable because she's constantly chatting with Surtur, right? Meanwhile, Scotty is trying to fight fate. She's trying to keep the Jotuns happy and the humans in eternal stasis. Like, she can't do anything but keep staying the course. And so we bring hope to this Lostbelt. We bring hope to Ophelia via Napoleon and also through, like, Sigurd and Bryn being lovey-dovey. We defeat Surtur, and defeating Surtur gives Scotty hope, which actually, like, gets her energized to fight us for us to come to that conflict we're always talking about to survive, right? Like, Scotty couldn't do anything but stay the course, but once we defeat the Lostbelt Surtur, she's actually like, holy shit, we can go places. We need this tree. You gonna cut down this tree? All right. I can do it. I can fight. And, you know, we have to actually sort out our shit. My notes for these get a little longer. So I think, like, thematically, Lostbelt 3 is one of the most complex, even though it's the shortest. Like, I think it has the best theming.
Mm-hmm.
Other than maybe Atlantis. Like I said, I picked up on some subtle themes that aren't even fully realized yet that I think will be a through line through both Lostbelts. But Lostbelt 3, I think, is about human nature and is a commentary on war. So Qin Shi Huang has built a unified, peaceful world at the cost that all humans live in ignorance and are little more than pets to his ego. You know, humans are basically livestock to him. They don't benefit from the fruits of their labors or intellect. All culture and technological advancement only serves him. So in fighting him, we have to show him how our individualized lifestyle has advantages over his version. And this even comes to a head, right, where, like, ultimately he sides with us. He's like, we permit you to punch us. Like, show us if your way is better. And when we thump him, he's like, you're right. Your way does have merit. You've won. Good job, you guys.
I'm gonna come hang out at Chaldea and judge you for myself.
Yeah.
How's it going?
And this, I think, has a very strong compare-contrast with a lot of our major characters, Yume Ren and Zhang Yu, who aren't even human. One of them is an automaton and the other is an elemental. They are not human, but they have very human relationships and very human, you know, desires. Their story of love, right? So, you know, Qin Shi Huang thinks of himself as the only true human, but he's a fucking, you know, flying city. Whereas the two non-humans are actually being the most human. And I also think there's a lot of stuff going on here with, like, themes about war, because everybody is constantly trying to keep the world peaceful because they've ended war, but, like, war was needed to create this peace, but is not needed in this peace. It's a classic problem of what you do when the revolution ends, right? Like, to cause a revolution, you need fighters, but then when the revolution is over, you need to not fight. And then what do you do in that transition period? So they keep all their old soldiers frozen, just waiting for them to be needed, and some of them may never be needed, right? And I think this plays into what Yume Ren's thing is. She's like, she doesn't want another war either. She doesn't want this Lostbelt war to break out because she knows what'll happen. So there's a lot of really interesting things here. I think Lostbelt 4 is the loosest of the themes. I had to think about this one pretty hard. The main thing I think is it is a commentary on perfection versus human flaws and of cyclical stories. Gajin is trying to create a perfect world, right?
Right.
He's trying to make it free of every evil as a result of his own traumatic experiences. But if you remove everything he thinks of as evil or just flawed, which is really what it was anything that was imperfect, you have an empty world with nothing in it, because perfection is impossible. You cannot attain perfection.
Well, it wouldn't be that there'd be nothing in it, but only he would be in it, because...
True. Like, he would be the only thing left, and then he would honestly probably just unzip himself, right?
Yeah, because then he probably realized he has destroyed everything, and he is not perfect.
Yeah.
But also, I would also say, like, this is also... It's also, the theming is also, not necessarily I would say human conflict, because like in a sense, oh okay, because I had a thought on this and I lost it. But and like human conflict and mutual understanding, because a big theme about this is, oh man, I felt so smart for a moment and now I feel so dumb.
Were you thinking about, maybe because I thought of this while you're saying that, like how disconnected the humans are from the gods in the Lostbelt?
Like they're disconnected, and depending on where you are in the cycle, people act like completely fucking different. And like it's also like your relationship with Pepe. Like Pepe technically is your enemy, but like you overcome your differences to solve common goals. And oh no, I feel really dumb because I know I had something here. I know I did.
I mean, I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah.
Like Pepe should be our enemy and we're hostile to him, and then he's like, "But I've lost, so I'll help you out." And then at the end, like after you defeat God Arjuna, he's like, "All right, cool. It's not fucking over. We gotta fight. I got my servant back. Fuck you." Like he comes back for that one final conflict because that's just the nature of things, and that's kind of like we said, that's part of that cycle of violence you're talking about. Like,
yeah, like because talking about the cylindrical cycle, so it's like, most of these lost belts are about, you know, headbutting your values against other values, but and like you said, Lost Belt 3 I think is like the best for that, as you know, Chi Wong, who is basically with you the entire way, just yelling at you from space, is just all like, well, tell me how your world is better. It's not. You can say the flaws all you want. But here we see in kind of a more abstract thing is like, we're actually, you know, we've literally broken bread with our enemy here. We get to hear like his side of the thing. We get to see he is, you know, not necessarily like an evil villainous person, even though he can be really good at murdering, and he has his own reasons for doing that. And unlike,
you know, Ophelia, there's not like with Ophelia, that she does help us, but that's like reversed, right? Like she starts off openly antagonistic, like, no, you guys go the fuck home. You cannot be here. You're gonna fuck it up. And then she's like, oh shit, I fucked it up. Mash, you're my only hope.
Yeah,
and,
so
like,
with
that was
Lost
also
Belt,
way more about her relationship with Mash as well.
Yeah, but like Lost Belt 4, I think is a lot more about coming to mutual understandings, or the inability to come to mutual understandings, because you kind of also see that with some of the modified servants, of how they've been fucked up from their original thing.
Oh, yeah,
and so,
actually, and I got that in my notes. That talking about that perfection theme as well.
yeah,
because like Arjuna tries to perfect them by giving them divine authority, but he only makes them lose their true human personalities, and arguably makes them more flawed. Like he makes them shittier by thinking he's making them better, because he doesn't understand human emotions anymore. And
yeah, I guess that's it. Understanding human emotions. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, and I think that's
what it was. That's what it was.
Understanding
empathy. That's what it was.
Yeah, okay, I get you now. And that goes back to that point I was thinking you were going with the like separation from humans and gods. Like, God Juna is so separated from everything that he's lost all perspective, and he's just doing the cycle over and over again because he thinks that's how he'll make a more perfect world. But that's not how you make things perfect. I think most things that are perfect for humans are ephemeral, right?
Oh, yeah, like, they don't exist because perfection is stagnation.
Yes.
Once something is perfect, where do you go from there?
We see that from Lostbelt. That's why, like I said, things that we encounter in our daily life that are perfection are ephemeral. Like, you have a perfect meal. You have a perfect day. You watch a perfect movie, right? They are all just experiences you have that you're like, wow, that experience as I got it could not be any better. And then you've experienced it, and it's over. You cannot machine make perfection. And as a contrast, Jinako, right, arguably star of the show, very flawed person, but she overcomes her flaws to give us what we need to succeed, and does so in a way that God Juna would never have acknowledged. He's like, what the fuck?
Cube?
What cube? So yeah, I think there's a lot of interesting thematics here. I think, like I said, like we both said, the way Lost Belt 3 is written, even though it's like short and like some of the pacing is a little weird with like the fighting, the character conflict, the characterization is spot on, because it really is an ideological conflict between us and that guy. Whereas, like I said, Lost Belt 2, Scotty doesn't work up the gumption to fight us until after we killed Surtur and the tree is planted again. That's when she realizes, like, oh, fuck, I have to fight to survive. Not that she couldn't have kicked our ass before then, but, like, that just wasn't in her nature.
Well, Scotty was interesting because she used all her juice to basically fight Suture with her, but she was all like, no, like she wasn't gonna go. And I think she understood that she understood she was probably gonna lose, but she wasn't just going to roll over and die.
Right. Well, and I think she does the thing that a lot of the Lost Belts do is she reinforced us. She was like, all right, okay, I'm doing the math. How many people live in your world? It's a fuck ton, isn't it? Okay, I have to, because she loves humans, right? She has to come up with, okay, I'm going to kill 8 billion humans. Are you ready? And you're like, well, okay, well, if you're going to come at us like that, like she psychs herself and us up for the fight because we both have to hit these loggerheads. Well, she could have tried to use a death rune, you know.
I mean, runes of Bullshit, but again, I think a lot of the Lost Belts understand our plight. Like a lot of them are like, except for like God Juna, like I think a lot of the Lost Belt Kings were empathetic to our plight. Like even Ivan, even Ivan was all like, "Do you understand what you're doing? Do you know why you're doing it? You know,
I know what I'm doing, right? Marching to this dumb tree thing. Even though, like, arguably his goal was also to kill Tree.
Yeah,
like he was still like, you got to understand what you're doing, right?
Right.
I talked about this earlier. Even Odysseus, like, he has that great moment where he's like, yeah, it doesn't matter who's right or wrong. We're fighting. We're in the fight now. The only way we can settle this is by battling to see who wins. Mm-hmm. You have your reasons. I have mine. We're not going to talk about it. We're here to fight. And it's really interesting. And arguably, even God Juna, like, because we bring back Karna, right, as Super Karna, God Juna has that moment where he, like, comes back down to Earth. He's like, he has a human conflict again.
He remembers his most fated, better rival. He's all like, Karna. Yeah.
So, Lost Belts are good. Good writing. We can't do all of our, like, usual, like I said, we can't talk about WHODIME and Canis' characters because, well, I mean, we could talk about Canis because technically they may have died, but also they definitely didn't die. Because that fucking, like, I have heard many unsummoned sound effects. That is not the sound that happened in that chapter. Once again, to remind everybody.
I'm pretty sure, like, WHODIME just sent with our bag and was like, okay, you stay put here now.
Have you learned your lesson about being an angry bitch? And Canis is like, fuck you. And he's like, okay, I'm going to give you a croissant, and we'll see if that fixes it. Shout out to our new CE, new Argonauts. It's great. The fucking feels, bro. It's really interesting because usually it's like a person we met who changed our life, right? Mm-hmm. In this Lost Belt, no, fuck all these people. They suck. All these exiles suck butts. We're gonna remember the Argonauts, man.
Well, again, like, this is one of those things, like, we're pulling, like, this was literally, like, a Greek epic, almost. We got on a boat, we were part of it, we were like, fuck, man, I'm gonna go, we get back to proper human history, I'm gonna go to the fucking, whatever, Greek museum, it's all like, Argonauts, I'm gonna write my name right in that book, like, fuck all you. I was there.
Yeah.
But, like, we sailed many islands looking for MacGuffins. And had to deal with
the new Argonauts, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it also goes back to our talk about, like I said, everybody's just going through the motions. These people on these islands, they're friendly, but they're not really friendly. They don't try to get to know us. They don't try to figure out what our deal is. They're just like, there's some weird people from some other island here. You want to know about this? Sure. Why the fuck not? So we don't form connections with any of them. And like, it's really interesting that that's our CE basis is the Argonauts, who we do really form an emotional connection with those motherfuckers.
Like, this story was all about the squad, literally. Yeah. I joke about all the pep talks, but no, it's like every down moment there is like someone talking to you, being like, "Hey, how do you feel? Let me tell you how I feel. Do you know what this feeling means? I don't fucking know, but that doesn't matter. We're in this together, right? Right. High five."
Yeah, and there's this shot. Fucking man, Ricardo, Achilles in the back, Paris chilling.
Chiome's like way back there on the mast.
Yeah, Bart's back there.
It's like, God, yeah, no, like, I honestly feel like Okeanos was good, but I actually feel like I was, a classical Greek hero in this. And I find that really interesting because
of this fucking heavy lifting, right?
Yeah, and I find it hilarious because Odysseus, king of the fucking very long ship journey, was on the opposite side.
Yeah, and he was our pentultimate obstacle.
Yeah.
I really want to see what they do with the White Day event then.
Mm-hmm. Well, if I remember correctly, it's focused on Kirky and Odysseus, so yeah. Well, maybe we'll see some Kirky Hard Eyes.
God, I hope so. Kirky also needs some. Like, I love that Lost Belts give us an opportunity to work on characters. Like, Chiome got a lot of character development, right?
Yeah.
Jason got a lot of character development being a protagonist, not an antagonist. Orion himself, like, not just Bear Orion, as with Artemis, gets a lot of development. They do a lot for characters that we haven't seen as much. And that's always what a thing of Lostbelt has done, is like taking these characters who got kind of like weird images in the OG and giving them back to us. But they also introduced new characters like super strongly. Like I really feel that connection with Mandricardo, you know, that whole thing where he's like, yo, are we friends? And I'm like, yeah, we're friends. And he's like, all right, we're friends.
Good night, buddy. Oh, that hurt me in the heart.
Come on, you can't say we're friends? And he's like, we're friends. And then Charlotte Corday is like, just, you know, don't you want somebody to love? You know, kind of a thing. It's great. It's good. Good writing. But I think that is about the end of things. We've been recording for over 4 hours raw. It is after midnight. It's almost 1 a.m. No idea when this thing's going to get done. Like I said, I'm going to go, you know, fuck off and work on all this. And I'm hungry. I need a snack. It's time to go bust out the director's emergency bacon. So let's wrap up. Obviously, like I said earlier, check out Wanted Europa and Wanted Super Orion if you haven't. If you're interested in them, you can learn more about their mythology and some of their fate stuff going on there. Check it out. See some interesting facts, learn things, get good rolls.
Good rolls.
So keep up with that. Our Patreon polls are going on, though I'm pretty sure, though admittedly there were only a few votes, but I do believe that Nausicaa is going to win, which is for obvious reasons. Yeah, we got like one more vote, and it's for Meleager. We've only got like 9 votes, though, so if you're a 5 and up patron, do remember you can vote in Fan Servant Friday if you actually want to affect the results, but right now Nausicaa still has 56%, so that's going strong. I don't really think there's anything else I want to shill. If this video is on time, hopefully there is a What's Up Today, or something, because we got some shit to talk about. We did not stream God of War last Monday because, like I said, I was super dead because of all the shit I'm doing at random hours. Hopefully we'll be back this Monday. I will try to be big energy and be good. So, there's that. I think that's everything I got. Lucky, is there anything you can think of to talk about? Final thoughts?
Nope, I got nothing.
Head empty, no thoughts, only Argonauts.
Only Argonauts.
All right, then I will do the outro really quick. I would like to remind you that if you're watching this video on YouTube, be sure to give it a like if you liked it. And if you want to see more of it, give it that like, boost those algorithms. If you have any comments, leave them in the comment section down below. You can also join our Discord. That link is, as always, in the video description and on the channel page. Hang out with cool people. Talk about roles and stuff. Hopefully get good team comps for Lottos if you're looking for them. Should have some guides posted there as well. Ask people about questions. If you are new here and haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. I think our subs are starting to go back up. YouTube keeps telling me we've lost some, but the number gets bigger, so I don't fucking know anymore. So sub to us to get more content like this, like Let's Talk FGO, like our podcast about whatever, what's up, and like more Wanteds, which are still coming. And, of course, even if you're already subscribed, make sure to hit that bell for notifications so you always know when we post a new video, or when we stream, or when other stuff happens. Ring that bell. It's good for you. You can also join our channel membership. Hit that join button or click the link in our description. You may have seen a YouTube ad in front of YouTube videos for join. I know I have. Please join. Get access to membership badges and emotes. And also, like I said at the front of the show, consider supporting us on Patreon. You can get access to this episode in audio format early for as little as $1 a month or $10-ish a year. It's like $10.80, $10.70. I don't know. Discounts. Math. It's good for you. Check it out. Got a whole another year coming up if you think about that yearly sub. And it really helps us out and supports us. And yeah, this has been Let's Talk FGO. I hope you've enjoyed our Atlantis deep dive, our Christmas pregame. We will see you guys after you animals open 2 billion Lotto boxes. Ciao, everybody. Bon voyage.
Arrivederci.